Okay.
If you really want.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of Burning Wheel. This is session 2 of the Suicide Squad arc. And as always, there are some things we need to go over about stuff that may have been missed or I may have messed up with. One little minor detail, Brett, with that letter you wrote, did you have an idea of what just the basics it was? Like what was written on the letter that you sent out with Fef to go to Sylvanas? What was like the basics you had?
For Sylvanas, like if she gets the letter, it's basically telling her that.
What? Just keep going. It's fine. Anyway.
Basically, just telling her that that me and my Suicide Squad were involved with something that's not right involving what's his name?
Mama Uja? Or the king? Garuk?
Garland, yeah. And that she should immediately either try to find me or try to find what happened to me in order to find out what's going on.
Gotcha.
Bigger picture wise.
Alright, cross that off my list. Matt already went over with your guy about your resources and tax exponent. You still have a B1 resources, it's just a B0 taxed resources.
Yeah.
So, cross that off. Okay, reputations. I need to dish you guys out your reputations you get because we finished an arc. Normally we'd vote a reputation, like you do a trait vote, but for time's sake and story's sake, I'm giving all your reputations. Lucius, Dolan, and Corvus get a 1D reputation of Slayers of Demon Spawn. I don't think you have a specific spot for it, you just write wherever you have room. And basically, a reputation is a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing, it makes it easier to find people because you're pretty well known. Bad thing, it makes you a little more harder to do inconspicuous stuff because people know you. But you guys have 1D reputation, Slayers of Demon Spawn. And Bragan, you have a 1D reputation as the dwarf with the elven name. It's your 1D reputation.
Oh yeah.
And where would I write this?
Just wherever you have room. I don't think they have a specific spot for it. Alright. Reputations.
Okay, so what is it called?
Slayer of
What
Demons.
is B1?
It's D1, like one dice worth of reputation.
So not to interrupt or anything, but would you mind pausing for a second so I can propose our theme song?
Oh yeah.
That's a very good theme song.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice. Alright, Bragan, I know you were trying to do your falsehood practice before you're interrupted by that girl. I say you get 15 minutes towards a falsehood check for your practice. When you're talking to yourself in the mirror, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
We never actually I don't think we put it in stone how much time you had. So
Oh yeah, speaking of falsehood, just so you don't forget.
Oh yeah, you have it at the bottom. Like what am I doing with falsehood? Because falsehood is a very hard thing to get to work. I'm gonna have it to where the only time you're gonna test for falsehood is if the person you're trying to lie to has a specific and believable reason to doubt you. Like an inquisitor would probably always be, just trying to find the truth. But like say, Bragan's now, he looks like a dwarf, sounds like a dwarf, smells like a dwarf. If he comes up to you guys and say, "Hi guys, I'm a dwarf," unless you can give me a good reason to doubt him.
He is a dwarf.
Yeah, unless you can give me.
Start it up again.
Yeah, start up again.
He walks up and kicks you in the shin.
Hey, this guy.
Did you magically transform into a dwarf?
But yeah, falsehood stuff's just gonna be based on with other players and either with NPCs. Unless you guys if I have an NPC and I know he's lying, I'm not gonna say anything. But if you guys say, "Hey, I'm kind of suspicious of this guy because blank," I'm like, "Okay, that's a good reason. He actually has to roll falsehood now." All that stuff. So that's falsehood. Practice. Did Corvus's reading skill. Told you about that, right? About having to
Yeah.
learn reading. You do not know how to read. And then you told me about, in the new arc we should do a blank slate about Artha, what we spent on stuff. That's true, but everyone should keep track of all Artha they spent on skills in case they get an epiphany and change shades.
Right.
Since I know you probably already erased yours, if you can remember the number, you can just try to, like, just as best you can, put your Arthur back. It's okay if it's not correct, you know.
Well, what is an Aristhiae?
Aristhiae? Where's that?
That's 1d point, 3% of points, and
I think it's like
base
a
points.
it's like a temporary big boost. You know, like a
Yeah, but it says
epiphany.
temporary.
Like, it gives you, I think, like a really good benefit to like what you're trying to do. I have to look up the Aristhiae rule.
Well, I mean, we can cross that bridge when we get to it.
Because the only thing, you have to spend at least one deed point, right, to
Yeah.
get that. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's like a short-term epiphany. I think, as far as I can remember. Okay. So that's that. Keep track of spent Artha, even if it's a new arc. All right, another thing for Lucius. That, you know, when you were fighting that spider and you picked out that song, that, like, you know, that burning bright one. The spell songs work a lot like sorcery spells. The only way you can get a new one is to learn it. But since it's already happened, I'm going to say your guy, in this moment, surrounded by his friends, the spider was coming at him. He just had like this, you know, this flash of memories, like this song that's been in his head, and he unleashed it in that moment. After it was said and done, he can't recall what happened, but, you know, something awoke inside of him that moment. So it's not something you have, but something
Well,
that
then
you're aware of.
which one do I have?
You have that sword song.
Oh,
Cause
Song of Swords.
yeah, Song of Swords. That's the one you. If you want, you can always. You can learn any song. You just have to find somebody who can teach it to you, and then do the relevant time period to learn it.
Oh, well, to go so long.
Okay. Then, all right, the riding skill. Since none of you have riding skills, and I said you guys have been riding on horses, just for story purposes, I'm going to say you guys were not, like, riding your own horses. Either you were riding with the caravan's horses, or you guys were just walking along. Because it's like it was leisurely pace, so you guys could have been just walking along and still have done all your story-based stuff. Just you guys weren't riding your own horses because no one's got a riding skill. And then, Chip, for Dolan, when you were saying you were shooting at people's heads, whenever you shoot at somebody, it's always aimed at their chest, but if you get more successes over the obstacle, you can use those successes to move it to different locations. Remember how, like, if you got over the obstacle, I said you can add on to your damage? You can add on to your damage, or you can change the location of where you hit them. But it's always aiming at their chest first and foremost. Unless they're, like, behind cover, and I say the only thing that's revealed is their head, so you have to shoot their head. But in most cases, you're always aiming at their chest, unless you spend those extra successes to move it somewhere else.
So you can't just like say you want to do it and make it a harder roll?
No, you have to be shooting at their chest, and then if you get over the obstacle, then you can choose to move that to their head. That's just how it works for that. And then, yeah, house rule it. All right, Lucius, you get a test towards ditch digging because of when you were doing the trap making. You were digging stuff. Just say, like, because you guys failed, so it doesn't really matter. But you get a test towards ditch digging because you were doing that. And Corvus, you get a test towards carving because you were carving up. Yeah. All right. And
I got a test. Were you saying I got a test or I just practiced?
you practiced. I think you did a good bit of time to get a test, but just keep track that you have 15 minutes because it's just important to like do time management for that. And finally, Lucius, you're gonna get some tests towards your grief for the past couple sessions because some shit went down that finally is gonna get tests towards your grief. Because things 5, 6, and 7 are difficult tests, and anything 8+ is a challenging test for your exponent of 7. Let me just find the obstacle stuff. Okay, skill songs. Blah blah blah. Resources. Okay, grief. Alright. So it's obstacle 5, 6, 7. Alright, so you get a difficult test for your grief for fighting in a bloody battle with the spiders specifically. Alright. Alright, would you consider Graves a friend or just someone that you worked with?
I would say that I was like
Close to him?
not really close, but
Cared about his well-being?
yeah, because like it is in my beliefs.
What about Meryl?
No.
Alright, I'd say because you thought, in all intents and purposes, that Meryl's going to die right there in their hands, that you get another difficult test for death of a loved one. Because in that moment, before Gar, which is miraculously showed up, you thought she was just going to die right then and there. So you suffered the same way as if she died. I think that's it. Just 2 difficult tests towards grief. What you looking
Can I
for?
have the small dice, please?
Yeah, where are you? Oh, I got it.
9.
What are you looking for, Matt?
The other thing of whiskey, the small bottle.
Oh, the small bottle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I moved it up in that cabinet.
Okay.
Okay. So that's Lucius's grief. And finally, because we didn't have a chance to do this at the end of last session, we have to do Artha points from last session. Because
Yeah, I kind of forgot what happened last session.
yeah, I can. I wrote it down.
Towards the end.
I got it. Okay. I'll just pause this while I go over what happened last session because it's important. I don't want to wait. All right, yeah. So Broggan, he had arrived at the
He
kingdom,
doesn't want us to know, remember?
and the king had made him a dwarf. And meanwhile, also the king picks up the group and leads them out of the woods. During the travel back towards the kingdom, Corvus confronts a fellow soldier, Dirk, and threatens him to reveal any secrets he's holding from him. Though Dirk just says like, "Hey, I'm not holding anything from you," but Corvus is still, on edge. Lucius, that night, Lucius meets with the king and has a friendly game of chess. After the king refuses to have a sparring match with him, saying that he's not much of a fighter. Then, later on, Lucius speaks with Dolan on what he's learned and where the criminal's loyalty lies, and Dolan says, "I'm with you guys." Then, that's the same night, actually. Corvus is confronted by another fellow soldier, Travis, and they have kind of a little talk about things, and Corvus convinces Travis to sneak into the king's tent to steal some books of magic and religion. Following Travis's leaving, Lucius and Dolan walk into Corvus's tent, and where Lucius chastises Corvus for, sending Travis out there. And Travis is soon discovered by one of the Black Knights, and while Lucius and Corvus try to lie their way out of him getting in trouble, the king graciously says it's whatever, and gives Corvus the books he was after in the first place. Meanwhile, Broggan meets with a few members of the family, the dwarven big ups within the kingdom, and is assigned the task of a goat farmer to be part of their for their family, because he needs to try and fit in. Broggan, meanwhile, during that time, Broggan catches up with the young girl who he discovers is the name Allison, before being interrupted by a friendly, albeit drunk dwarf named Van, who wants him to join his growing thieves guild, but Broggan politely refuses, saying, I kind of want to see what happens with this family before I, weigh my options. Meanwhile, Lucius calls Fef with his plan to send him out a day ahead of them to warn Sylvanas that there might be in some trouble and that she should come looking for him if he is not heard from within the day. And then Lucius speaks with Corvus about because Lucius has been keeping his eye on everybody. He's been seeing that some of the soldiers, specifically Dirk's been kind of eyeing Corvus. So he confronts Corvus about this and learns that Corvus was threatening him. And then while they're having that conversation, Travis is talking with Dolan, then brings up the orc doll that's tied to Dolan's belt. Dolan examines the doll and finds the doll is linked to him through some sort of voodoo magic. By, he pokes himself, he pokes the doll, and all of a sudden he's bleeding from where he poked the doll. And he confronts Lucius about this, takes Lucius's doll.
Actually, he didn't confront
Yeah,
me
he
about it.
just he walked up and asked for
I
your
had no
doll.
idea.
And then went up to Corvus to ask if there's anything he's read about involving this sort of weird blood magic, where Corvus can't really find anything in these books that seem to be just general principles of how blood magic is bad. And then finally, Lucius confronts Dirk about his behavior around Corvus, and the two have a general discussion about Corvus's once friendly demeanor. Lucius unable to drag any potential secrets out of the lad. And that is where he ended it.
I just realized, Elven script, would that be
Being able to read.
being able to read and write in Elven?
Probably. I would imagine so. So you can write in like a language only read by elves.
I
Or
just
people.
now noticed that it's at the top of my skill list, and I probably should have used that to get to Fed.
So in case someone like intercepted it, like
Yeah.
what the fuck is this garbage?
Well, do you actually have the writing skill?
I have Elven script.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you even able to write in
I
plain
have to
English?
see what Elven skill.
In plain
Elven's,
English? No. But
yeah. No, I don't
I'm
think.
an elf, so my first nature is...
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like, you should
Oh,
you shouldn't have
yeah.
to say I'm writing an Elven script because it's all
Yeah,
you
that's
know
all
to do.
you know. So if it says you can, it's like reading and writing Elven script, then we would assume that you did it in Elven script. That's all you know what to do. Okay.
So, would I get a test for it? Or
Yeah,
should we
let's-
just wait to do it till next time I do it?
Well, here
Since
I'm
we
right
just
here. Elven
finished
script. Elven script combines one letters.
Yeah, it's reading and writing. Where's the obstacle link? As for read and write. So what's the right? You might look up the writing obstacle real quick, just so I can see if it that we
I
can
think
get.
it's writing short notes is an obstacle one.
Yeah. So you get what's your exponent for Elven script?
B3.
You get a routine test for writing that note.
Yeah, let's
Cool.
see. Your name is obstacle one. Copying letters is 2. Composing the letter is 3.
Oh, it's obstacle 3. So that actually is a.
Difficult.
Yeah, I think probably a difficult test.
Okay,
But yeah, the reason I just backtracked is because we need your Arthur points. They're really important, and we didn't have a chance to do them. I know it's okay. I was just reminding. Okay, so we're gonna go with usual order. Corvus. Let's see. Any Arthur points for Corvus? Let's see. His first belief is all orcs are evil savages, and I will burn them.
God, how malicious he's been.
The only orc you guys have encountered so in this last session was the king, and you're really in a position.
Very distrustful of him. That's
Yeah.
why he wanted to have the book stolen.
Yeah,
But I
Well,
would
yeah.
say I'd say it's
You didn't-
a few paces short of burning someone
Since
alive.
you already got
Yeah.
outcast, do you care about orcs?
There's one thing of being.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Not as much, but I do know that they're my own
Um,
race, so I'd imagine he's like.
he said the second belief is men of valor and bravery are to be trusted. I wish to form an order of such men.
If I can't have.
I only trust those two.
Yeah,
Are you guys men of valor?
I know.
No, you're not a man. You're an elf.
you're an elf of valor. And the third one is I will preserve the rights of all intelligent races, slaughter any savages with the wrath of an angry god. Oh, just the particular session has been more of a role play session
Yeah.
than anything else. So unfortunately, I don't think any of these really
I'm just reminded that the Adventure Timeline. We'll rule them like gods.
angry
Gods.
And his instincts are I challenge authorities I believe I can beat. That one might actually work with him convincing Travis to sneak in because he's challenging a king. Maybe he doesn't believe he can beat it, but he believes he can trick him.
Outsmarted.
Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, definitely take a fate point for that instinct because it would have potentially gotten you some trouble.
Speaking of Adventure Time, really out of context for that. There's just, I was really surprised when this really cute girl that I work with was like, "Would it be really nerdy if I bought a Jake shirt?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, from like Adventure Time. I'm like,
Marry me. It'd be really
Anyway.
nerdy if I said I wanted to marry you because you said that. Yes. Okay.
"Well, I didn't say it. I was asking."
Oh, yeah.
Hypothetical.
I was thinking it.
And the next instinct is anyone who attacks my comrades attacks me.
Well, if you take attack meaning any form,
I would imagine.
then when I failed my drunk test in front of Garakon to try to help alleviate the whole
Yeah.
thief thing, he did step in and like come flat out
Right.
with it. So he kind of saved my bacon on that.
And I could. Yeah. That's 2 fate points so far. Then Mr. Matt for your instincts. The last one is no one can be trusted to always carry a weapon. You guys are out where it's normal to have weapons, so that wouldn't really get you in trouble. It's just
Well,
like.
Dirk doesn't trust anymore. That whole thing with Dirk.
Yeah, you didn't trust Dirk, and you had a weapon on you, and you were threatening to like cave in his kneecap with it.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, I can see that. So 3 fate points for Mr. Corvus. And then finally, the persona points for embodiment and for mold breaker. I would say if either one it was an option, it'd be embodiment for being the protective guys, like who's saying like, okay, you guys, if things go shit faced, I want you guys to get out of here, and I'll do whatever I need to protect y'all.
Sorry.
For embodiment, the persona point, I would say would probably fit you more than mold breaker. If we were to give you a persona point for the role playing, because you did do a very well job of saying like, okay, I'm the one who's still in charge technically, and if things go shit faced, you guys need to get out of here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't forget anything. So yeah, 3 fate points to persona point, as long as everyone's okay with that.
I'm cool.
Okay. Okay, and I think that would be it. We're gonna move on to Lucius. It's on the next page. Yes. Alright, first belief for Lucius. I'll do whatever possible to complete the task at hand. I don't know if it's still survival, if you can, because I have in comma survival at the end of tacked onto that. Is that still the same for you, or is it just I will do whatever possible to complete the task at hand?
I would do whatever
The
possible.
shit in this shell of the skittle. It's fleshy inside.
Oh, did you see that?
Do possible
that
to complete
weird,
the task
like,
at
sea
hand.
creature?
What would you say is the task at hand currently?
Had
Oh,
like
like, what the-
hands.
Something tack onto.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Watching everyone's body language.
Remember, like, it was just a camera on the ground.
Yeah. So take a fate point for that,
Did you know there's a-
for sure. Do what I feel is the right thing.
Bed sheet, like a brain.
What do you think?
Well, I would say with the whole talking to him about dirt thing and telling him that he needs to like
Yeah.
calm down. and become
Yeah,
a little bit
you
more
were really into like trying to keep Corvus, on the level.
I don't like children.
So yeah, it's another fate point for you for that. And then nothing with torture that session.
nonsense. I mentally tortured everyone with my really bad impression of being drunk.
It was painful to watch. Alright. Instincts, my sword's with me at all times. I always have a plan, and I'm protective of my friends. I definitely would say protective, because you were putting yourself out there, you were risking Corvus lashing out at you by saying, okay, buddy, you need to step it back a notch. You knew Corvus was kind of on edge, and saying that might have triggered him.
Just notch it back a step, bro.
So yeah. 3 fate points, and then finally, I need you guys' input to help me with this. I don't want to be just the one dishing out Arthur points. I need everyone's contribute, especially for the persona points, like embodiment and mold breaker. Embodiment, again, I see would be more leaning towards if y'all... I know it's been a while. I probably remember this session better than everybody.
Yeah, I mean, have you listened to this session?
Yeah, actually, I did. That's
have
probably
you
why.
refreshed your memory? Because
Yeah.
we have.
I mean, I feel like embodiment would be the closest one that Lucius has because, you were doing the extra mile of role-playing by talking with Lucius, talking with Dolan, making sure they're all on your side, all on the level. I really do feel like you have embodiment there, what is it? The instinct, take it for your friends, so yeah. And if there's anything else you want to bring up, if you can remember, for Arthur points, you're more than welcome to
Well,
bring
not
up.
Arthur points, but for my grief.
Uh-huh.
Now, in my instincts, it has I'm protective of my friends. I've always had some sort of variation for that.
Uh-huh.
So, would I get another test because of Greaves?
Because of Graves, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
I guess it depends on if you really considered him because in the book for grief it says like the death of a friend, so it depends on what Lucius's term for friend is. Would he consider Graves a friend or just someone he had to look after?
I mean, I wouldn't say a friend,
But more
but
than
he
just
would,
like a
yeah,
babysitter.
more than an acquaintance for
Yeah,
sure.
I would say that it hasn't gone over to the level to where you need a grief test for it. You probably felt bad that he died, but you're like, no, you weren't crying like you were with Meryl,
Yeah.
True.
True.
So I would say it doesn't make you do a grief test. It has to be something like really traumatic. Because you're
Because I kind of want my grief to be like a major part of my character.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, when you think about it, that war I told you about happened like about 30 years ago. That's like a blink of an eye for an elf. So
Yeah,
that's still like
That's why I want to start feeding my grief into my character a little bit more.
yeah. But that would also mean though. I mean, you've killed your brothers and sisters. So like the death of someone who's not yet a friend is just like, and it's a death. Death happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if anything else though for your Arthur points, you can think of. Okay. Moving on then to Mr. Dolan. What you got? What you got?
What you got, bro?
Beliefs first is gain wealth from the wealthy. Nothing yet with that. I don't think. Or gain martial prowess with knife crossbow. You guys didn't really have combat. That was a more roleplay session. And then see the mighty fall. I mean, unless you, I don't think you did. I think you just kind of kept to yourself for most of that session. You know, so you didn't like try to overthrow. You didn't try to like steal from the king or anything.
I mean, I was thinking about it,
You thought about it.
but I didn't.
Oh, you.
Instincts. And then your instincts always draw knife and surprise.
I can make an argument for him.
Like for when Garuk showed up.
No,
For what?
different one. Because I don't think we pulled weapons on him.
You mean for the doll?
Yes.
That's true. You were surprised about the doll, and your first reaction is start prodding it with your knife.
Exactly.
I got you some. Yeah, take a fate point, Mr. Dolan, for prodding the doll with your knife.
Alright.
Then always assess new room and always inspect a person. That stuff just hasn't gotten you in trouble. It will get. I'm going to try to keep a more eye on your instincts, Dolan, because those are kind of important to you, and I want to make sure that stuff happens to you because you have those instincts. Like you might notice something somebody else doesn't because you have that as an instinct. Try to keep that more in mind. And finally, there's mold breaker and embodiment. Again, leaning towards embodiment, but I don't know if someone else can bring up something he might have like really pushed the story forward with his actions.
Well, okay,
Or even mold breaker.
What do you mean by mold breaker?
Mold breaker's like going against like your character's personality or instincts or beliefs.
His personality?
I would say personality. He does a really good job role playing. Yeah, I would actually, yeah.
The last session, his character's always he's always kept to himself.
Yeah.
But in this session, he definitely made more of a effort to connect with the rest of
Yeah,
us.
I was even thinking like when you found out about the dolls, and you just took the doll from Lucius, but you went over to Corvus and you were asking people for help. You know, you weren't
And
just like keeping to
He
yourself.
also had drinks with me before we went to go talk to Corvus.
Yeah. So I would say give you a persona point, Dolan, for Mold Breaker for going against your loner trait, or just your personality in general. And then finally, unless Dolan has anything else you want to bring up,
No.
okay. Broggen is our last guy.
Final.
So it's how you're on the list. Alright, we got your instincts of the more madness I spread, the more powerful I become. No orc wants help, they only want to use or torture you. And gain large orcish following through fear or magical prowess.
You still want a large orcish following?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course you do.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was his?
Oh, we got the beliefs of
The more madness that is spread, the more powerful I become. No orc wants help; they only want to torture you. Gain large orcish following.
I would say, what was the first one exactly?
The more madness that is spread, the more powerful I become. I don't really feel like the last time, like the moments that I did have a part in the story, like I was really just trying to like introduce myself again, you know.
Yeah.
So I really had no opportunity to really.
Well, if you
do
think of like the
anything.
overall
Madness,
What about the second one?
no orc wants help. That honestly, if I still didn't
So
have an
if you
opportunity.
go against your belief, do you get a fate point, or is that just against your instinct?
It's usually focused on instincts. I mean, beliefs.
Those like
Because he
those
received
if
help from
beliefs,
another orc.
if beliefs get you in trouble, I think that's what it is.
I think it's
That-
I think it's instincts actually. If they get you in
Oh.
trouble, I think
Then what? Then is it?
Mold
it-
Breaker
if
is
you-
like a persona point for going against like beliefs or instincts or
Okay.
traits
Okay,
and
well,
stuff.
then I would say he gets a persona since he received help from an orc willingly.
Yeah, I would say you definitely get a persona point for that for Mold Breaker, Broggen, because that pushed the story along, but you had to go against your belief of trusting this orc god. And also, if you want to think of,
I still don't think he's a god. I definitely don't trust him in that. But
You're a liar.
and if you want to still think
I'm not
of,
gonna outright say he's a liar, just in case he is a god.
I mean, if you want to think of
He's an angry guy.
Mama Wuja, the crow, as still an orc, you're kind of following her around too, albeit probably a little unwillingly, but you're still listening to her.
I think he would still be a little more
He's just trying like not to die.
He can relate to her since she's kind of
Like a witch doctor like him?
or she is a witch doctor.
Yeah.
But, so
I'm not.
anyway,
So anything for beliefs, fate point wise, I wouldn't. Like the only one I can think of is the madness that I spread. The more powerful I become, because you're now an orc inside the body of a dwarf who's working for the head dwarf family. I mean, that's just oozing with possibilities.
yeah.
I'd say you are working towards, putting yourself in that position.
I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, but I know it's on your mind.
Let's say if something happens and it's big enough, we could would you say possibly gain like 2 points, or I mean I'm just saying like.
I would say
Or would it still just be 1 point?
I give you a 1 point now because you're putting yourself in that position. I know it's on your mind, so I know you're not doing this because you want to be the best dwarf goat farmer ever.
I don't know. I like Lassie, and she was a sheep herder. Was she? No, she was that type of dog. But, and that goes to fate.
Yeah, you get a fate point. And the persona from Moldbreaker. And then there is your instincts of lie, 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 never rush rituals.
Actually, change the first one to lie, question mark, lie, exclamation point. That way it's more like if you think you should, if you ask yourself if you should lie, then you probably should lie. That way it's that kind of thing.
I got you.
So I now have...
So lie, lie, lie,
Oh, wait,
lie, never rush rituals, and then finally always sleep as little as required.
Staying vigilant and staying alive. So, what, from the clean slate, what are we, starting with? 0, right?
For your spent Artha?
No, the spent Artha stays the same, right?
Yeah, you just want to keep track of what you spend your Artha in for this particular arc, because that will help us giving you new traits for the end of the arc. So just try to keep track of what you're putting your Artha in this arc.
Okay, so we still keep the same.
Yeah, you want to
number.
keep what you
Okay.
spent because you want. Cause
No,
you wanna,
we still keep the same like what we had last.
Yeah, because you want to make sure if you get an epiphany, you want that epiphany.
No, I mean like if we had 3 fate points last.
Oh yeah. No, you keep your fate points
Okay,
from over.
that's what I got
Sorry.
a little confused. I'm sorry.
My bad. Alright, so anything you guys can think of for his instincts that might have got him in trouble or what have you.
One sec. I'm trying to remember. The sessions are kind of running together and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Was it last session that he ripped the child's face off and I?
No, that was a session before that.
Session before
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
that? Yeah, I know. See, it feels like it was.
I wrote down, I listened
No,
to
because
the
I remember there was a break between.
I listened to the
new arc,
podcast and I
yeah.
wrote down everything that I heard. So it started
I was
off
wondering
with
because I was just realizing I was like, that got you. If that was anything to do with your beliefs, that got you into a spot of trouble. Almost
Yeah,
dying
yeah.
and all.
I don't
go
think-
into combat last session. Huh?
No, there was the Brogan combat in the sewer with that
Oh,
one
yeah,
woman.
yeah,
That was what started it off.
When you said something before you attack her, it's like,
It's like he's like he said hello, and I'm like she raises her head from. I throw my spear.
yeah.
No hesitation. Okay. Lie. Okay, I don't think the last two got you any trouble. You actually went against that lie instinct when you were talking with the girl, when you said you were genuinely sorry to her for what you've done. That went against your lie, and you were being genuine when you said you're sorry.
Well,
and she
that's why I
believed you.
changed it. That's why I changed it to like.
Yeah.
Lie,
I'll give you a fate
lie?
point for your lie. Give you a fate point for lie because you didn't lie to the girl. All right.
Okay. I mean, I'll take the fate point. I'm just saying.
You take that fate point, or
I'll take it.
I'm gonna be upset with you.
What does she want to teach me?
I think that's everything on my list. Okay. All right. We can start. And we are, once again, going to start with Brogan, because we need to get him to y'all's group. So, Brogan, with your instinct of not sleeping very much, you
Oh, yeah.
generally...
Wrong, bro. Alright. I want to keep my knowledge, man.
I guess I should call him by your new name. What's your new name? Safazi something?
What is it?
Cephazio or something like that?
Was it? Did you?
Safaziel or Zoe?
Was it?
No, Cephazio was my god from.
Yeah. It sounded. It was an S word.
Did I write it down?
What's going on, Excavation 9? My friend!
I did not write it down.
I thought you had a picture of him. No, it was on your
Yeah,
the drawing
that's
I
what
did
it
for
was.
you. I'll tell it to you and you can write it down. Unless you want the picture. Right here. Serveus Dietos.
Sarveus Delatos.
All
Now, is that really a? I guess I'll write that down in alias.
Well, there's a reason why you have that reputation, and it might have something to do with that dwarf that you invited into your home. He's got a big mouth. He drew his own conclusions based on what he observed about you. Okay, so, Serveus, with your very slow amount of sleep, you normally have pretty bad nightmares, but, these are kind of common for you with your, blood rituals and the madness that's in your head, the whispers
Right.
and all that. And you wake up drenched in sweat,
Ew.
and you have these vague memories of a dream or a nightmare you had where, like, you were a dwarf, but you're going through the motions of, like, having a job, meeting a wife, having kids, getting old, but throughout the entire vision, you just see your eyes are black, oozing, and your mouth's just open like you're surprised. And that mental image of your face in that dream sticks with you as you awaken to the sound of what sounds like tapping on the table. It's when you wake up, it's still very dark, like it's still the early morning hours, and the tapping is coming from a crow on the table, just wrapping its beak on the table.
When I wake up, I look at it. I imagine I'd start getting a slightly cold sweat.
And it says,
because I don't know, it's a little nerve wracking because
Right.
I'm working under two different.
"Oh, that
people.
something else. It's been a week from you getting this goat herding job. You get 1 test for animal husbandry, and one
Oh
test."
jeez.
Running out of practice. I think you can do the practice log at the bottom. You get
But I get 1 test.
1 test towards animal husbandry and 1 test towards goat wise.
Go wise.
Yes.
Chip, do you have any tests towards Go Wise IRL?
Can't do with them.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't want to know. Just you and me, Nathan. Just you and me. Wait, you got your tests? Just.
Is that greatest of all time wise? Oh, nice.
The crow says, "Having trouble sleeping, my dear Brogan?"
Well, wait, say that again.
Having trouble sleeping, my dear Brogan?
Only since I imagine you arrived in my domain.
Whatever do you mean?
Well, first of all, I was having normal bad dreams, but they started taking a turn for the worse. I mean, worse than they normally are. And then all of a sudden I started hearing your tapping. So why are you waking me up?
We have an issue. Your former comrades are within a day's journey of this kingdom, and we have a problem. That one with the hammer, he knows what the girl looks like. We need to fix that. She kind of gestures her beak over to a little bag that's situated on the table. In there you'll find some scissors, this special dye, and also a little vial. I want you to cut the girl's hair, dye it, and then force her to drink the vial.
What does the vial do?
Changes her eye color.
That's all it does?
Yes.
You have no reason to lie to me, right?
Of course not, Brogan. We're teammates, remember? I need you.
This is less of a teammate This is less of it being a teammate ship. is you're ordering me to do things.
I'm trying to help you, Broggan. If that person with the hammer finds this girl, there's going to be questions. We need to avoid questions. It's only going to lead to trouble.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm just a little grouchy. Just woke up. Well, where is it? Over here?
Yes, it's on the table beside me.
I'll walk over to the table, look at its ingredients.
In contents, you find
Contents.
a rusty pair of scissors, a jar filled with what you imagine is the dye she's talking about, and then a vial of like clear liquid. It's just like about this big. It's very small. Like it would take a shot to finish it. Hurry up! You have to head to your job in just a few shakes.
Okay. Will you leave now, please?
Very well. I'll be keeping contact with you, Broggan.
Try to make it as little as possible. Don't want to blow the cover, right?
I'll be keeping my eye on you regardless. And then just flies out the little hole shape of a window you have, leaving behind a few feathers.
I kind of shiver a little bit and then wipe the sweat off my face, off my forehead, and walk over to the girl's door, knock on it.
But the thing is, this little like shack you have, it's like a one-room thing.
Okay,
You
so
guys
just-
are like, yeah, you guys are like, your beds are near each other. You see that she's turned to face the wall, sleeping, as far as you can tell. So it looks like she's like kind of huddled over, like she's really cold. The the blankets you guys have aren't exactly the best made material.
Right.
They're thin like wool at best.
Okay, so
But she looks cold and sleeping.
I pat her on the shoulder lightly and say, what's her name again?
Allison.
Allison, wake up. I have something to do for you.
She kind of stirs, turns to face you. Her eyes are a little blurred, and she says, "Are you going to work, Daddy?"
No, not quite yet, but we're gonna start playing a little game.
She kind of rubs her eyes and looks at you, kind of just like she looks taken aback for a second, but then says, what sort of game?"
Well, while you're around me, you don't have to play this game, but whenever you see anybody else out there, pretend that they're bad guys. And if they know that you're a girl, that they're gonna get you.
She kind of like turns up her nose and says, "You want me to pretend to be a boy?"
Right. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna learn how to pretend, and you're gonna have your own little world, and trust me, it'll be fun.
I don't like boys.
Well, you don't have to like boys. You just have to act like one.
Would you mind rolling me a persuasion test? Obstacle 1, so double to make it a 2.
Persuasion would go off of.
Will, I think. I'll look it up.
I'd imagine it'd be off of will, but
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Real fast, like. Where are you, Will? Me? I mean,
William.
my persuasion? Yeah, Will. Based off of Will, my good man. Obstacle 2, because you're untrained.
Well, I have 4 dice.
Don't fuck it up.
Come on, dice.
They did a test. She says, "No, I don't want to be a boy. Can't just pretend to be a different girl."
I guess so. But it would be very hard for them to. It would be a lot harder for them to tell if you're a girl, or if you're the same girl, if they know you're still a girl.
Why do I have to play this game?
Well, whenever I see you, I notice you are very. You don't seem very happy. Whenever I go to work, I see all the other little children, and they're outside playing and doing, all of their normal things. But when I see you, it's almost as if you're.
All the other children have mommies and daddies. I'm sorry I called you daddy. For a second I thought you were him, but I guess it was just a dream.
It's okay.
My mommy's still out there, I think. I don't think they got her. If I play this game, do you think we can go look for her soon?
Most certainly. If she's out there, we will find her.
Okay, I can pretend. I'm good at pretending.
Okay, but in order to help out, we're going to give you a disguise. And I hand her the vial and I say, if you drink this, it will... Now, I'm having a gap right here because I don't have a kid, so I don't know how to talk to a kid.
Right.
I'd imagine that he's not
He doesn't know how
taking this long.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, or he might be, considering
He doesn't have a kid.
secluded.
Yeah, he's never had a kid himself.
Yeah,
he kind
he's-
of fits. It's like a very awkward conversation.
Yeah.
So, give her the vial.
Well, first of all, it's a very healthy drink, and it will make you feel better. But also, it will change your eye color to a whatever color you want it to be.
The girl she takes the vial. She kind of like brings up to like her hand to her eyes. She says, "But I like my eyes." You see that they are a very like ocean blue color. She says,
That's what I imagined.
He says they're the same as my mom's eyes. My mom said that she'd always be with me because we had the same colored eyes.
And you still will have the same colored eyes. This will only affect it for a little bit.
Kind of like uncorks the vial and sniffs it and kind of reaches back. It smells funny. Is it gonna taste bad?
Well, it might, but if you hold your nose, you won't even taste it.
She chugs it back. You see her like her body like immediately kind of shudder as it goes down. She kind of coughs a little bit and drops the vial in the bed sheet. And she kind of breathes for a second. Looks up at you and you see the eyes that were once ocean blue have almost like immediately changed to a very deep muddy brown. She's kind of like holding her chest. Says, "That was really gross. Are my eyes different?"
Yes, they are.
Are they pretty eyes?
They're beautiful eyes, Allison. I'm kind of like out of character. I'm kind of thinking like it probably would have been a good idea to take a little, like half of the potion.
Just to see if it actually worked.
Well, just to like go through it with her. So she's like,
Mhm.
okay, well he's doing it.
Again, you guys don't really have experience with the kids. Just like, okay,
Right,
kid,
right.
come on.
Just for the future, I guess.
Right, I got you.
And then
Hey.
right back in character.
Cutting
Next,
her hair. You cut your own hair.
I say, next we're gonna cut your hair a little bit.
She like gasps at this and kind of like scoots back against the bed, holding her like light blonde hair behind her.
It's only gonna be a little bit. It'll grow back.
You just gonna cut it?
I'm imagining her hair is like to the
Yeah, it's pretty
middle
long.
of her back.
Mm-hmm.
How about we cut it? How about we cut it down to where your shoulders are?
She'll to her shoulders. That's a lot.
What would you feel okay with?
My mom sometimes keeps it up in a ponytail and it's still kind of long. Can we do that?
If I cut a couple of inches off of it.
That's okay.
Okay. We'll do that. But first, we're gonna dye your hair.
My hair?
What color hair do you want?
I want my hair.
I know this is all a big deal, but You're playing a game, remember? It's gonna be fun.
How long will
Fun.
How long will it last?
It shouldn't last for too long. By the time your hair grows back, I'm sure the dye will wear off.
Okay. As long as it doesn't last too long, I guess.
What color hair do you want?
I don't know what is it. What choices do I have?
Well, you have brown, you have light brown, you have black. I wouldn't pick black, but if you want it, I'll let you pick black. They have red, they have auburn, they have a lot of different colors.
I guess light brown's not too big of a difference.
Let's go with light brown. And then we dye your hair.
Well, you open the vial, you see the vial is black. Black ink. Black as black can be.
Should have checked this. Is there any way I can go, is there any way I can wait?
I mean, it's not like the crow's like watching you over his shoulder.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay, she's
I'm gonna wait till the next.
You're gonna cut her hair.
I'm gonna cut her hair, but I'm gonna wait till the next possible moment that
to
I
go
can.
buy some dye.
Right.
Oh, really?
Because I mean, she's doing all this like against her will, so.
Might as
At
well
least give
try
it
to make
that.
it easier.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, she lets you cut a few inches off her hair. You're gonna have to find some way to tie it back though in a ponytail that she likes. Besides the eye color though, right now she looks like pretty much like herself. Like you feel like Corbus would recognize her immediately until you get that dye. She doesn't look that different, even with her hair tied back.
Right.
But yeah, this whole conversation and doing the actual actions take you about a couple hours. By the time you finish cutting this girl's hair, you find that you better start making your way to work soon.
Okay.
You wanna be
Before
late?
I leave to go to work, I'm gonna talk to her and ask, what have you been doing while I've been out at work? Just wondering if she's been keeping a healthy, childish diet of activities.
She says, sometimes I guess I just sit in my bed and I think about my family and if my mom's okay and if my dad and my brother are, okay where they are. Sometimes I look out the window.
I sit next to her and I ask her, would you like to go outside sometime? Maybe see some other kids, maybe see if you can make a friend.
I don't know if I'm ready to do that. It's really scary out there. There's a lot of people.
Well, I don't want to push you to do that, but friends can do pretty great things. So, and it's kind of
Do you have
weird
any
that
friends?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Right now, I have a few people that I talk to, and
Are they your friends?
yeah, right now I'd say they're friends.
What do you guys do together?
I haven't seen them for a while, but they do keep in touch. We usually just talk to each other and tell each other how we've been, how we've been.
I guess it gets kind of lonely here sometimes, but it's really scary. There's so many of them out there. What if
That
they
is
don't
true.
like me?
Well, if they don't like you, then you never have to see them again.
How come?
Well, if they don't like you, then why should you like them, right? Or if they don't like you, why should you care what they think, right?
I guess.
You don't have to go out. I was just wondering if
Maybe if you're not too busy one day, we can go out together.
okay. Maybe next day that I'm off, we can go out to the park. Would you be okay with that?
Okay, as long as you're with me.
Okay. Well, I have to go to work. See?
Later, bitch. She says,
Yeah.
be careful. Kind of like gets back in bed, like she's gonna go back to sleep.
Okay. Well,
Well, as soon as you step out your door, you're greeted by an entourage. It looks like a small army of dwarven soldiers, and at the head of them is a female dwarf. She dressed fancily. You recognize her. You've seen her like marching around with a parade of dwarf soldiers and fellow friends. She's what's her name? Madra. She is the third daughter of Mother Gurdra, the head of the family. She's probably what you could gather from the talks of the doors, the most coveted item in the kingdom. She's single, she's gorgeous, and she's
for a
rich.
dwarf. For a dwarf.
Yeah, for a dwarf. But her name is you know, a dwarven terminology for beautiful itself. So it's like, whoa, man, she's all that. And you've seen her cast her eyes towards you. You know, you might catch a few glances, but she's never approached you until this sudden, like, welcome. But as you step out, she says, you must be Serveus, the dwarf with the elven name. Do you know who I am?
I've seen you a couple of times, and I've heard about who you are. I take her hand.
The guards almost kind of like move, but she.
I hold out my hand. I don't take it.
Yeah, well, as you move your hand out, it's almost like the guards kind of stiffen, but she puts her hand in your hand. You see there's like some elaborate jewels and stuff, rings on her fingers.
I do the typical cheesy.
Kiss the. Oh God!
No, but
You just kiss her hand.
yes, and I say, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I simply wish to meet the dwarf. They say was raised by a elven prince. My word, is that true?
Well, he wasn't very princely, but I suppose technically that is true.
Technically. It says, my. My mother has quite an eye on you, you should know. I just wish to see what you were made of myself, and I am, quite taken back by your manners. Most dwarves here would greet me with a salty belch.
Well,
But you're quite different. I see that almost immediately.
I come from a different place than most dwarves, so
So I hear. Would
right,
you care?
obviously. What?
Would you
Would
care
I
to have a walk with me? A little walk towards where you work? You're a goat
Ooh.
farmer, correct? May I escort you?
I suppose if it doesn't make me too late,
Oh no,
I could definitely spend that time.
I'll make sure that even if you are late, you find no trouble.
All
Come. Right, so you follow Madra and her small army of dwarven soldiers. Probably feeling a little tense with all these eyes on you. But yeah, you guys walk through the underground. Because like this whole area is underneath the kingdom. It's like a whole
Right.
nother
Right,
section.
right.
And you make your way towards the family's mansion. You've felt eyes on you before when you've walked through. You're the new dwarf in town. You've got this really weird reputation. People are kind of like watching you sometimes,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
an
like
interesting
now it's people are just not just
outright
looking.
staring.
They turn their heads, they stop what they're doing, and they just stare at you and Major on this entourage of people. These dwarves aren't making. They're obviously jealous and angry. A lot of these male dwarves when they see you guys, but you don't say anything. They're not hiding it in their faces.
Okay. Well, once I noticed this, I asked, "Do you normally turn this many heads, or is this my doing?"
I'd say it's a combination of two very notable dwarves. Yes, I turn heads, but these reactions are very different than what I'm used to. I quite like it. How about you?
It's a little empowering, I'll say.
That's a very good word.
I mean, like I said, I come from a different place than most dwarves.
So, where is this place you come from? Who are these? It was an elven town? I've heard the stories of the elven civilization collapsing, but you must have come from some civilization.
Well, that's part of my past, so I really don't want to get too much into it, but I will say,
Oh, I do not mean to intrude. Forgive me. I just.
oh no, it's fine. It's just a very strange part of my life, and being a dwarf and growing up in an elven place, all these tall, towering people around someone just as tall as you or I. I'm sure you can understand. It was a little.
I could not imagine growing up in such a way, but you seem to have turned out all right.
Oh, of course. In fact, all the bullying kind of gave me a little of an idea to how many people might feel.
I can understand that. Well, at this point in the conversation, you guys get to, like, it's at the mansion, this goat farm, kind of like off to the side, like you're gonna go around in the back, and you find the humble abode of the goat farm. And you reach there, she turns to you and says, well, it's been absolute pleasure meeting you. We should definitely do this again without company, she says, nudging to the guards. I'll be sure to write you. We should definitely meet again under more private terms. Do you agree? Would that be acceptable with you?
So long as it doesn't interfere with my goat herding.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Because I do take pride in my goat herding.
Oh, you do? Oh. That's very nice.
I'm kidding. Of course, I'd love to have another moment with you.
Oh, that's splendid to hear. I'll make sure to send a servant your way next time we have a chance.
Anyhow, and I guess I'll bow.
You bow?
Or I do like the.
Oh, no need for such formalities. I should be the one bowing to you, she says, like doing a formal courtesy. The dwarves around her, the guards, look very displeased by this.
I look just as not displeased, but
Shocked?
the same. Not shocked. The same level of
Discomfort?
yeah, just a little discomfort.
She smiles at you and waves her ringed fingers and says, until we meet again, Serveus.
You too.
Oh, well, she and her entourage turn and leave.
I smirk to myself and about face and walk back to where I need to go.
Well, you were pretty much right at where you need to be with the goat farms. You get in. Some of the goats have taken kindly to you and come up and brush against you, but you see the wizened yet gruff form of the head of the goat farmer's carver kind of making his way over to you, a rake in hand. He says, well, better late than never. You had fun chatting up the daughter of the mother?
Well, I'd like to tell you, but I really don't think you'd be able to relate.
Stuck up as ever, I see you. All right, Mr. High and Mighty, I got some jobs for you.
Well, before you give me those jobs, I want you to know, I'm not being stuck up, but you asked a very, what's the word? Stupid question.
Well, that's the kind of questions I ask to very stupid people. Now, come on, sassy pants.
Right, okay.
Got some jobs for you, okay? I need you to put up a notice, see? The board upstairs. A little messenger board. I got a task that needs doing. Put it on the board. I want you to take this goat. You see he pulls out from behind him a rope, and at the end of the rope is one of the goats you all have been tending.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the sicker, fraily looking ones, and says, I need you to take this out on the farms on the outskirts of the kingdom. It's Farmer O'Malley. He's out. When you leave the kingdom, he's like the second farm to your right. You can't miss it. Just gotta bring this goat over to him. He paid for it about a week ago. Gotta send it out to him. So, you remember that now? Put up the
Wait
notice.
a second.
Give him the goat.
Wait a second. You're giving him this goat.
Yes.
Did he pick this goat?
Not exactly, but hey, stocks are running thin.
Listen. How much do goats cost?
Goats? They probably have it in here actually, under the resources. Probably like in the middle range, I'd imagine. Let me look it up. Resources 366. There you go. It'd probably be like an obstacle 2 to get a goat. If your resources was 2, or up, it could be obstacle 2 resources, and it goes up to 10. So that's kind of like on the lower end.
Where are my resources? Oh, shit. If I didn't write that shit down.
I don't think you have a. Usually, yeah, it'd be 0.
What
So-
you get paid for your job, but you're getting paid just enough to like pay for food and food for you and the girl, and
Right.
basic necessities. You don't have any like cash.
Right.
Yeah. Come on, boy. You hurry up
You
with
can't
this.
find anything else that this goat can go towards.
It's either to the farmer or to the bellies of some wolves out in the woods.
Listen. You're a businessman, right?
I'm a farmer.
Okay, but you sell goats.
No. The business dwarves sell goats. I raise the goats.
Well, you're screwing the business dwarves over
Oh no.
by selling
See,
the
O'Malley
sickly
ain't...
goat to what is O'Malley?
O'Malley's a prick. You know what pricks get? Near
What they
dead
paid
goats. He didn't pay for shit.
What? How? Explain to me why he's a prick.
Well, he hasn't been keeping up with his payments, you see? This is all kind of above a dwarf of your stature. So why don't you just take care of these jobs and you come back and start shoveling some more manure for me?
Okay. And I do it.
Okay. He hands you
I
the
take
rope.
my time, by the way.
Take your
I
time.
don't tell him this. I take my time though because manure
It's not
does
something to look
sound
forward to.
inviting.
It's probably the worst job you've done within the week. You've shoveled. That's probably the most you've done for this guy. To shovel manure for him
Mm-hmm.
in the past week. Anyways, so yeah, you take a goat. You take your little notice for the job, and you walk up. You get up through to the upper story. You go towards the upper kingdom is sectioned off into the earth quarter and the water quarter. The water quarter is basically where all the action's happening. It's near the docks. It's got a big center square, and the center square is a big there's a at the end at the center square is a message board by the end where people post up their notices. You're gonna post your notice on the wall on the board.
Am I going to?
Are you going to? You're there now.
Post my notice of.
Like the guy, the dwarf wanted you. There's a job he wanted to get done. He wanted you to put up the notice on the board.
Yeah, I'll do it. Am I secluded? Well, it takes hours to do this. All right. Well, anyway, I go.
All right.
But halfway there, no. Yeah, I go. Deliver the goat.
Oh, so you go head towards the goat. Well, deliver the goat. Okay, so you leave the kingdom. You get to the farm in question. You walk up to the door. Well, what do? You get to the farm in question. What do you do from there? You get to where you suspect is Farmer O'Malley's farm.
He doesn't notice me yet, does he?
You don't see anyone outside.
All right. Well, I make a small blood sacrifice out of sight to make worm tongue. Actually, no. I'm gonna make sure he's there, so he's in range for me to mess with him.
So what are you gonna do to make sure he's in range, or he's in there?
Well, I'm gonna walk up to I'm gonna deliver the goat.
All right. So you just walk up to the door and knock on it and say, "I got your goat." What do you
Well, I walk up to the front gate and call out his name.
You don't hear an answer, but he figures because it's like the gate's pretty far away from the front door. The gate's like, if you try to open it, it's like openable.
Alright,
It'll be
well,
doing
as,
this.
as I keep walking to the front door, I guess I keep every now and then calling out, "You have a delivery."
Well, no one answers you, and you're at the door. Now,
Alright, well, I knock on the door,
all right.
kind of loudly, to, because I've been calling out.
Almost immediately, the door is flung open by someone dressed in armor with a cowl over his face, sword in hand, and that's where we're gonna pause it. Are you? All right,
Can I
guys.
walk out? Or...
You don't have to. You don't want to be alone, do you?
Hey, guys!
Come on in. Jeez. Police.
Out of the way, bro. Did you have a good session or a good show?
Good quarter.
I think so.
Anything noticeable?
Notable.
As in, like, well, never mind. I was gonna ask if like we've seen him yet, but we're not even quite in the city. So
Yeah.
or had the chance to see him.
All right. So, you guys. Hey, you guys. All right. You've made it to the outskirts of the kingdom. The only thing left to walk through is a bunch of outlying farms before you get to the kingdom itself. So, yes. Lights.
AC.
AC.
And lights.
I think the AC is on actually. It's just.
So I was gonna turn it like.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can turn it down. And we're
Gonna
some
make
other
it winter in here.
It's actually no. We probably shouldn't turn off the lights because technically it's it's early morning at this point. Sun's eye in the sky.
I just like it not to be light.
I
My eyes
understand.
have been really bad.
Well, that's fine.
with photosensitivity lately.
I got you. All right, so y'all are your little entourage are traveling through the farms when y'all come across a dead body, or it looks like a body, kind of in your path. And now, Dolan, I want you to roll observation for me.
Do it.
Where is the P6, huh?
Yeah, you roll d6s and you gotta look at your observation exponent if you have one. Okay, good.
Actually, I do not.
You don't have observation yet?
I got a thing to learn.
Or you're training it?
A 5.
Well, what's your observation be based off of? Let's see.
Randy 11 bone.
Perception? So you have roll your perception exponent and it'll be double. Well, it will be one success. I mean, two successes equal one success. So roll your perception of dice.
I just rolled that.
Right now.
You can keep that dice. I think you have, where's perception? 4 more dice to roll.
Can I try to guess? That's the
Stab my sword.
Sure.
A 4. Oh, a 1.
One more dice.
Definitely a 5.
So you got 2 successes total.
Model is kind of generic.
If you want, just to make it easier, you can roll multiple. Like I have a bunch of dice if you want to roll multiple ones at once.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Wait, we're just walking into the city and I come
But
across
I'm
a
along the
long
same
line.
line.
Yeah, you all come across a dead body. I'm having roll perception for a particular reason.
No, I mean like bourbon. I couldn't remember if you said you got the bourbon or the whiskey.
They said 2 successes. Okay. And then
And let me see.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'll experiment.
Sweet. This is honey whiskey.
all right.
Sorry. He's easily distracted right now.
Yeah,
He's excited.
Well, I am excited.
Well, just so you know, this only happens if a very specific set of events go down tonight.
Do you?
All right. Dolan, an arrow goes sailing into you.
Oh shit.
It's gonna strike your chest, so you have armor because you're wearing that leather. Right here, you roll 3 dice. If you get a success, you're gonna negate the blow. But if you roll a 1, that removes, like it means your armor got damaged.
3d6.
Yeah, you actually should see.
You know what? Just so I don't know what's going on.
You're not gonna be out of it for long, because actually they're by the farm that you just walked up to and opened the door. This is all about to happen at once.
Okay.
Just gonna take a little bit at a time.
Ooh.
You got 2 successes.
I'll let it play out.
I probably should see. Okay. Gotta look up. Do they have? Where are the weapons listed at? Probably in the back of the book. I gotta see if what the versus armor is for a bow.
Try to go fast.
Because it can make it
Gotta go fast.
increase the obstacle. There we go. Alright. Using a hunting bow. Grade 1. Alright, so you got 2 successes, so the arrow hits you in your chest, but your armor blocks the blow. But now, everybody's got to roll for steal, because you got surprised with an ambush. So when you roll steal test, the obstacle is your hesitation, but you guys are going to get some bonus dice and some bonus obstacles because of certain conditions. So before you roll, let me just tell you what you get to do. Everyone has to roll steal, except for Surveillance. He's got his own problems.
Except for who?
That guy.
Surveys.
Yeah, that's his
Oh,
dwarf
yeah,
name.
I like that's Brad. Well, I ain't
So,
bragging.
so everyone rolls steal plus 1 dice for being in a group.
Okay, I got 7.
And then your obstacle is your hesitation plus 1.
Where's hesitation?
Should be underneath steal.
Is steel automatically
Oh.
open-ended or no?
Holy
Yes.
shit. That kind of sucks.
Yes.
Alright, I failed my test.
How much though? Because that would mean how many times you're hesitating. A hesitation is like 1 is a heartbeat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not very long.
Let's see,
You too, Dolan.
failed
How
by
many
5.
d6?
Yeah,
There's
look
the
at your
5 second.
steal exponent on this page. So steel's right there.
I want to open.
Yes.
It's already
Well-
it's automatically open-ended.
Yep. Steel and magic are and faith are automatically open-ended.
Oh, cool.
Looks like 2 successes.
Are they 6s?
Yeah.
I passed.
6.
You can re-roll that to get more successes.
6.
Roll it again.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 3, and your hesitation is 7 plus 1. So yeah, what's everyone's hesitation at?
Mine is 6 plus 1.
Did you add your plus 1? Because of you guys being shot at?
Yeah, no, then I'm 100. Fuck.
So you're hesitating for 1 action.
I'm 5.
5 actions, and how many you hesitating? Your hesitation's at 8 right now. You also have that 1 trait though that what is it? The cold-hearted. Look at that real quick. Yeah, I think I wrote down what it does. Might get you extra because you're.
Cold-hearted too. Second one.
Let me see.
What size you said that was? 42.
I think so. Here, it's cold-hearted. Surprise and fear by 1d. Oh yeah, so you're just at 7. You don't get the being shot at because you're cold-hearted. So how many successes you get? 3. So you're hesitating for 4 actions. It's like 4 heartbeats. 5 heartbeats, 1 heartbeat.
So a heartbeat's like an action?
Yeah, that's how long an action takes, is a heartbeat basically. But we have to wait for Braga before we see what happens next.
It's not Bragan, damn it.
It's just the name I remember better. Surveillance, I believe. I should.
Your boss.
Besame, besame, mucho.
It's like a crevasse.
I kind of really want to play Mario Party now. Like not right now. But like
Yeah.
It's on your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just so you know, I have unlocked. There's 2 characters that start locked: Dry Bones and Birdo. I have not unlocked Birdo, so I hope you don't want to play as her.
Birdo. Who is Birdo?
The pink Yoshi thing with the big mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah. It like spits stuff at you. I feel like a tube mouth.
Is there an orange Yoshi?
No, you just play as classic green.
I mean, it probably was in like Yoshi Story.
There's Mario, Luigi, Waluigi, Wario, Peach, Daisy, Boo, Dry Bones, Birdo, and I don't know if there's anybody.
I claim Boo.
Boo.
I claim Dry Bones. Will likes Boo, so we got to fight him for that one.
Hey,
That's
did you
okay.
guys see the trailer for the new DBZ game coming out? It looks like a lot of fun.
No.
Like I usually couldn't give a shit about DBZ games, but this one.
Oh, well,
looks
it's kind
interesting.
of enjoyable. Except for the ones where they try to make it like a free world, a free roam world.
This one's gonna be like 2v2 and like 4v4 and stuff. Looks
So
pretty
it's gonna be
interesting.
like tag team or tag tag.
Pretty cool.
No, it's like all at the same time.
Holy shit!
Just flying around, blowing the shit out of each other.
That's
And no GT and the character from the new movie's gonna be in it. So
The gods?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so Brett, there's discussion of moving the JoJo game to the US.
Awesome.
So hopefully that'll happen.
Can't wait to see that.
Did you wanna? Well, no. The
So
trailer was kind
I
of
told
funny.
you about that one arc of it, Steel Ball Run, where they raced across the US,
Yeah, I remember.
like during the Industrial Revolution, and they're trying to find pieces of Jesus hidden in.
Yeah.
Lucius. During your one heartbeat of hesitation after Dolan gets shot out of nowhere, in your position, wait, are you, before this all happened, were you on a horse, were you walking, or what kind of,
Well, didn't
wait,
say since we didn't have.
you guys could be on, you have the horses in the caravan, you have the horses that are tied to other people's horses that are actually riding horses, and then you can just walk.
I'd say I'm on foot.
On
Like
foot?
walking alongside, basically acting as like one of the guards.
Yeah, well,
Protectionary type role.
you see, you don't know how the fuck this happened, but you see in your heartbeat that there's some kind of thing crawling up the horse that one of the Black Knights is on. It's like cloaked and kind of small and gangly, but it comes up on the guy's back. The guy kind of like tries to shake it off, but the thing pulls up his helmet, takes a knife and slits his throat, all in one clean motion.
Oh shit.
Roll your observation, please, Lucius.
I don't really think tactics would be able to be.
No.
I don't think you can fork if you're. Are you trained though? But yeah.
One success. It's a 6.
Do you want to spin a fate to?
Yeah, I got 11. I might as well. I got 2.
Okay. You notice too late that something is behind you, and you feel like just a force jump on your back and grip you around your shoulders.
Shit.
So, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Alright, so it's like grabbed onto my shoulders and
And you-
that like
and you
it's trying to like hold my arms down, or
It's trying to hold it's trying to keep you steady while you see a knife come out of the like it's holding a knife in one of its like taloned, hairy hands. Like it's going to try to do the same thing to you as it did to the knight.
yeah, and it's kind of like coming over like that.
Yeah, it's not like he's got one arm around you, one arm's about to try to do this.
Alright,
He's trying to hold you
With-
steady though.
whatever side that he's trying to reach with me with the knife, I want to like pull my arm over his and like cinch it down so he can't bend the knife towards me and keep his arm straight.
So you want to try the power?
And then try to wrestle the knife out of his hand.
So you want to try power thingy? Use your power against him? Okay. He's going to try and do that. Okay.
Alright, so I roll my power.
Yes.
Yeah, don't think I'd be able to fork. Well, you can't. Can you fork
I
something
don't
in
think you
for
can
a
fork
stat check?
stats.
I think stats are just by themselves. Pretty sure.
All
Alright.
Well, I'm
Four
going
successes.
You
to,
got 4.
He got 4 successes too, by the way, so you might.
I'm gonna open him now.
Yeah. I think you're still.
Yeah.
Keep rolling it. Okay.
But I'm one over.
Yes, you do what you say you do. You wrap your arm around him, and he immediately lets go of the knife as his little arm presses up against your chest as you hold him steady. You hear like a horrible like squealing noise coming from kind of like piercing your eardrum. It's just right up against your ear, but it's squealing and trying to like frantically get out of your grip, but it's stuck there. All right. So while that's going on, Mr. Serveus, you open the door, like I said, and some armored, masked person steps out from the doorway, and he doesn't really seem interested in you. He actually tries to push you aside as he like draws his sword. You see the sword is black. He's going to try to push you aside like you're not even worth his time. And behind him, you see there's other big, brutish things in armor and masks.
I guess as he pushes me aside, I like look at him and like watch him pass.
He pushes you aside, and two of the brutish things walk past
I
him.
just thought of something kind of funny. Like, I just pictured it in my head. I pictured you, like, as he's trying to do this to you, you, like, grab his arm and do a flying arm bar as a dwarf.
It could still work.
It could.
If you let him
Be
pass,
extremely agile.
if you let him pass, you see behind them that there is a massacre of what used to be O'Malley's family, just slaughtered and strewn up. You do see a strange sight. Someone who's not dead. It's another dwarf, kind of tied up and bound and gagged. He just kind of like, he sees you. His eyes are wide. He's like,
This is in the farmhouse?
yeah, in the actual farmhouse.
So we don't. Nobody.
You guys are right next to this farmhouse, so these
Okay.
people are coming out. But yeah. So Bragan, what do you do about what just happened?
Survey.
Or Surveus, what do you do?
After taking all the sights. Shit, man.
Yeah, you're also aware of this scuffle going on behind you with these people who just showed up out of like nowhere.
I look all around. I guess I go inside then.
Go inside the farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you're gonna do immediately in there? The dwarf is still like bouncing around trying to get your attention.
He's in the farmhouse, right?
Yeah, he's like up against a wall, smeared in blood. But
I guess I'm gonna start walking towards the guy. I'm gonna tie the goat somewhere so it doesn't run.
okay, the goat seems very afraid right now. It's probably, I think it's shat itself.
Oh, damn.
Well, you can't really say it shat itself. It's a shat.
Yeah, it shat and got on the ground.
It involuntarily vacated his bowels.
Yes.
Reminds me of the gift of this guy playing
Trumpet.
no, one of those things that were at the World Cup soccer.
Vuvuzela.
Yeah, one of those. And he was playing it at his dog, and the dog's like getting antsy, and the dog like walks across the living room and starts taking a shit on his carpet. And he's like, no.
He had it coming. So what are you gonna do?
Well, first I'm gonna tie up the goat, and I'm gonna check my surroundings.
Well,
Then I'm gonna walk towards.
you see the people outside the farm are in the middle of something, and just inside the farm was you, that other dwarf, and a bunch of dead human bodies, of what looks like a family.
Take my time, look around, and I'll walk up to the guy, ungag him,
Ah!
talk.
God damn it! What the fuck?
So, what's going on?
The fuck if I know? I was coming here to collect the rent, and these fucking things were here. Fucking untie me, man.
So you're not O'Malley.
No, that fucker over there's O'Malley, he says, nudging to one of the decapitated bodies. No, fucking untie me. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I don't want that. Well,
Come on, what are you waiting for?
okay, so, what should you give me to have me untie you?
Well, I'll tell you what I won't give you, which is a smite right fucking smack on the face.
Well, okay, while you're tied up, you can't give me that smack on the face anyway.
Once I get untied, I'll do more than just
Who
smack
says
you
you're
in
gonna
the
get
face.
untied? Who says these guys aren't gonna come back after I walk out of the door to slaughter you like the rest of these guys?
Look, if you ain't gonna help me, just get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I want to help, but I just need something I need some incentive.
I gave you an incentive. I won't kick your ass if you untie me.
If you stop talking, I'll untie you. Alright, I untie you.
Okay. Kind of just brushes off your shoulders. He's like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't know about you. Kind of like walks over to him.
What did I just say? Don't talk.
Fuck you. He says he
I smack.
You gonna smack him?
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be fucked.
So I ain't got time for this shit. He just kind of he climbs out a back window.
He took a fucking.
Go bitch. So, yeah. All right. Meanwhile, got all this shit going on. You see 3 armed men coming out while Lucius is struggling with this thing on his back. You know, the guard that has neck slit open just slumps off the horse, and that thing that slit his throat jumps down. The other knight kind of gets in front of the king and yells out, "Defend the king!" and straight on tries to charge the rat. But you other guys, what is Dolan and Corvus gonna do?
Wait, he goes
So-
first because he has less heartbeats than I do.
So basically, I got shot with an arrow.
Yeah,
Am I aware of where it came from and all that?
no.
So would I roll a perception to see where it came from?
Well, you already tried rolling your perception to catch a glimpse of something, but failed that.
What else does Dolan see?
He sees Lucius getting, like, piggybacked righted by something in a cloak. You see the Black Knight about to face off with another one of those cloak things. You see a smaller figure in armor and 2 larger figures in armor coming out of the farmhouse, making their way towards Travis, Dirk, and Corvus. So you kind of find yourself at, a bunch of options here.
Alright, those 2 large figures, are they closer to me than Lucius being piggybacked or no?
I would say you guys are you were at the back of the group, and Lucius is more towards the front. So those guys are hanging right down the middle to the group of humans, well, other humans.
So they're coming my way, right?
Well, they're coming. You're like in the back. Corvus, Travis, and
They're-
Dirk are in the
Think
middle-ish.
of them as like crossing the T.
Okay, I'm gonna stealth roll, I guess. Let's say I'm gonna like hide behind a wagon
You're high behind the wagon.
of some sort, and then I'll be.
Dirk's
looking-
actually kind of in a bad position because he's like supposed to be steering the caravan, and the horses are kind of wigging out. So he's doing all he can just to hold on. There's still the wounded Merrill and the medics in the back of the caravan.
Basically, I'm looking to stealth, see if they pass me up. Those 2 big figures you said. See if I can get a backstab.
All right, you're gonna try and stealthy. Do your best.
Yeah. So I got a B4 stealth, which means I roll 4d6 or.
Yes.
You could fork
Fuck.
some stuff, Chip.
It's not good. What kind of fork?
Anything?
Assassin wise.
Yep.
That's true. Plus I got a 6, so I can reroll.
Yeah, if you spend a
So
fate.
we can make a wise
What?
out of anything, right?
What's
Yes.
what's a pass?
So
4 ups.
Cheese making wise.
And then if you spend a
or
fate point, you can
maybe
reroll
not even
6s.
as a wise, but
I'll let you
like
reroll
a
automatically because
skill as
fate
soldier.
is steel is already
Something like
open-ended, but everything else,
Something
most everything
like
else, you have to
skill.
spend a fate point to open-end it, as in to roll 6s again. So if you want to reroll that 6, you have to spend a fate point to do it.
Wait, how many? So they need to be a 4 to be a success.
Yeah, 4 up.
And how many of those do I need?
I'm about to tell you. You're gonna need 3 successes.
Okay, so can I fork in assassin wise?
Yes, you can.
I got 4. Alright, so I guess you said I'm gonna have to put in a.
You're gonna need more than 3 though, because he's technically the defender. Just so you know.
What are you trying to do?
Just stealth.
Oh, okay.
So there's not much point in me.
Will you spend a fate point to reroll the 6?
Yeah, sure. 5.
What's your total then?
3.
Okay.
So I failed.
You did indeed. You try your best to sneak up to one of the.
Wait. Streetwise, gotta try that.
Well, you're out
I
in the
know
farms.
the area.
You're out in the farms right now. If you're in the kingdom itself, I'd say that's appropriate.
I'm trying to stealth on top of the wagon. Can I fork and climb?
It's on top of the wagon. It'd probably make you more obvious.
I'm
Basically, what happens is he sees you coming and he turns to face you, for a fight. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do something for Dirk real quick. Not Broggen. Garuk is gonna call out now and say, Dirk, get the wounded out of here.
At least, what do I do for stealth? Like, what kind of test?
Oh, you rolled 3 dice. How many dice did you roll? Not including re-rolling 6s.
4 overall.
Alright, 4 on 3 would be a difficult test for you.
How many difficult do I need to get from 4 to 5?
You need 2 difficult or 1 challenging, and then 4 routine tests. Alright.
Okey-dokey. What about assassin wise?
Yeah, you don't get, unless you do that as your main thing, you don't
right.
get, or you can use it to help people, that'll give you a test. Okay. Alright, Dirk gets control of the horse and kind of, yeah! And the caravan just kind of peels away as these guys come up to y'all. So, Corvus, since you hesitated for so long, the one that's not squaring off with Dolan, the bigger guy, is squaring off with you. And he gets close enough where you guys can both attack each other when your hesitation stops. So, we're gonna pull you into a fight, my good man.
I don't enjoy fighting.
I don't like fighting anymore, guys. There you go.
I'm gonna pass a fist right through your face.
Oh.
Pass a fist. Oh, yeah.
Pierce your fist. Alright. So this, your reflexes and dish him out through your 3 volleys. And the guy's gonna do the same. He's wielding an axe, just so you know. He pulls it out, looking old.
Ex-murder-ish.
Yes. That's a good word.
Ex-murder-ish.
Murder-ish.
Combat.
I gotta look up this shit. Boo da boo da boop boop boo. Alright.
What have you done? Have you seen
Alright, he's
the
scripted.
Alright.
You ready? Alright. Volley 1, action 1.
I'm gonna strike him.
He's gonna strike you too.
Alright, so what do I do again? Sorry.
Strike versus strike. You just gotta roll your hammer test versus obstacle 1. And he's gonna do his axe versus obstacle 1.
hammer versus axe?
Alright, so I passed by 1.
So you got 2 successes?
Yeah.
Alright, let me just get light axe. Okay. He just gets a single success, so he meets the obstacle. So you guys just hit each other. You got over 1, so you can either do versus armor or bump up the damage or move location. He's open his chest. Where are you open at? What you saying?
Well, I guess when you where am I open?
Like where would he strike you if he strikes you? I'm saying he's gonna be open in the chest. You can pick chest, head, arms, or legs.
Probably my chest would be pretty open.
Okay. So he's not gonna be able to do anything except his standard attack. You get to pick. He is wearing armor. I don't know what the VA of your hammer is, but VA 2.
Right. So he's just wearing armor on his chest, no helmet, no.
He's wearing he's not wearing a helmet. He's wearing like one of those cloth masks, so you can't see what his face looks like. He's wearing armor.
Well, I'll change the position to head.
Change it to head.
Yeah.
All right. He's just gonna do straight up damage to your chest. Okay. Then I see he's just gonna do an incidental, which is a B3 to
Yeah.
you. But he has to break your armor. You're down 1 dice though, so we have 4 you're rolling, and his VA of the axe is right here. Light axe VA 1, so it's obstacle 2. You have to beat.
Oh, damn it, I got another one.
Oh, well, you block the blow. He hits you with his axe, but your armor absorbs it. You should hit him across the head.
Yep.
All right, roll him. Or I mean, what's your incidental then?
Shit. The incidental for hammer is 2.
2. You have V2. All right. You smack him across his head, but you see the blow doesn't even really affect him. He just kind of shakes it off, ready for more action.
What did changing the position do exactly? I'm confused.
What's that?
What did changing at the head do?
He doesn't have to. He can't roll his armor against you to
Oh.
avoid it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. What's your action? Is it block? Is it volley 1 action 2?
Yeah.
All right. He doesn't have anything, so you block, but he doesn't do anything.
Uh,
Volley 2 action 1.
strike.
He has strike 2.
Why didn't you have anything for a second thing?
He only has 3 reflexes,
Oh.
so we have to split 1 into each volley. And he's got 2 successes, so 1 over the obstacle. Just roll your hammer again, good sir, against obstacle 1.
I got 1.
Alright, so you hit him in the chest, and he is going to follow your example and try to strike you in the head. So he does a B3 to you for hitting you in the head with his axe. And he has to roll his armor against your thing. Yeah, what's the VA of your hammer?
2.
Right, so he has to beat an obstacle 3. Which he does not. So what's incidental on your hammer?
2.
2, that's right. Okay. So he takes it again. You swash him with your
What
hammer.
happens when he hits 3 dots of incidental?
Well, first dot is a +1 obstacle to things. Second dot's nothing. And the third dot gets rid of the obstacle, but gives you a -1 die penalty. So right now you're just at +1 obstacle to stuff.
Yeah. I was curious.
Yeah.
Right, and then
The final thing, volley 3 action 1.
strike.
He's got a void. So, strike against a void. What do you have to do?
Strike against the void. Skill versus speed.
A void against strike is speed versus skill.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm gonna roll my skill and he rolls his speed, correct?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
I got 2 successes.
He got 3. So you try to swing your hammer at him again, and he avoids it this time.
Alright.
Alright, y'all still kicking, so going to the next volley.
Alright.
Let's do something else, actually. Alright. Right, volley 1, action 1.
Alright. Counter strike.
He has a void,
No.
so nothing.
Happens.
Volley 1, action 2.
I'm gonna start up a great strike with the first one and use the second one to finish it.
Right, he's got nothing for that one. And this volley 2, action 1, you have finishing great strike, and he has starting up great strike. So you're just going out, you're great striking against,
Great strike.
basically, well, he's powering up, so he's not really doing anything. Basically, it's no action, so
1.
yeah. So just roll your great strike.
It's just a hammer skill, correct?
Let's see if you get. Yeah, I think you just get like you can have a +1 already to VA or damage.
Single success.
So you still get to add. You can do the versus armor, or you can do
I'm just gonna pop up the damage.
pump up the damage. All right. Again, he's gonna try to beat a whatever's. But you do not. So you hit him. What is your meaty wound?
8.
8. All right. He's gonna take a meaty wound himself. So he's gonna be hesitating because he is minus. I think it's -2 dice for stuff. He's gonna hesitate for where's the steal? Hesitation. Steal is 6. Is HE hesitation? No, it's 8/6. It's gonna be 6 because he's at -2, and he has only 2 dice. No, 4 dice because steal is 6. Okay, I got it. And steal's automatically open-ended. All right. So he's gonna be hesitating for 5 actions.
Wow.
Yep.
Right, and then my last thing for the volley is another strike. What's he doing?
He's gonna be hesitating, but I have to pick what he's gonna do. He can either fall prone, beg for mercy, swoon, stand and drool, or run screaming. And he's just gonna stand and drool.
Right.
So just strike against obstacle 1.
4 successes.
Wow. Well,
Can
so
I
you
just bump up the damage?
you can bump up the damage.
Alright, I'll just bump up the
See
damage.
superb,
Yeah.
and see if his armor can deflect it. He hasn't rolled any 1s yet, surprisingly. He has to get obstacle 3.
Which was like.
Oh, he just made it. So you slam your hammer with all your might, but kind of just.
Wait, but
Yeah, I rolled a 1 that time, so he's down to 3.
I thought that's not a success though. You needed.
Obstacle 3 because your VA is 2, right?
Oh, I thought it was worse when I did superior damage or whatever.
Oh no, it's just you still gotta break his armor. But hey, you got more chances because guess what? He still has 4 hesitating actions. I think goes into volley 3 or like round 3.
Alright.
So what are you doing first?
Charging up Great Strike.
All right, second.
Great Strike.
All right, great strike him.
2 successes.
You want to spend a fate point to reroll anything?
No.
No. Okay. So
Yeah.
you can do VA, or get to do 2 because you have great strike. So 2 against VA or 2 against power, or to add up to your.
I'm gonna make it a superb again.
All right. He's down to 3 dice. Obstacle 3. His odds aren't good. Yep. He takes the superb hit. What is the superb hit?
12.
Okay. How do you kill him?
Smash his head.
Well, you're going to be hitting him in the chest since you didn't move it to him.
Crushing his internal organs.
Yeah, you smash against his armor. His armor cannot take this hit, and he just... You see blood kind of stain the cloth like a very deep black. And he just falls over. He like grips his stomach and just falls forward, face first.
Can I remove his mask real fast?
Well, 1 second.
Fine.
All right. So, Lucius, you have this thing caught in your grasp. What are you going to do? It's at your mercy right now, basically.
Alright.
It can't break free.
Since my arm's over it and his arm's stuck straight, I want to use, I guess, power again to like cinch down on the arm and like break it,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully, like I would think that's enough to like loosen his grip around me, to where I would grab at his other elbow and kind of like sling him off to the side after breaking him arm.
Okay, so we're going to do a versus power then to break his arm. He's going to try and make you not break his arm. All right.
I think
I got 1 success.
he's a little bitty bitch, and I'm not. So. Got one
wow.
success.
Well, even though he's much smaller than he seems to be fighting for his life, like putting every ounce of energy into stopping him from breaking his arm.
Well, I mean, to be
big.
fair, in order to actually break it like that, I have to be in the right position.
You
So
just
if he's like scround, it's not really him overpowering. It's him
just
like
no,
wildly.
no. You hear more squeals and screeches in your ear as he's trying his best to get you off of him. Let's see. He's actually going to try and bite you.
You're gonna get rabies.
Rabies. What would be his biting? I guess it'd be just straight power. Yep. All right. One. So he bites you on the neck and deals a B3 wound to you.
I have to wear it.
You're just marking your thing. You took a B3 wound from him biting you. You drop it on the ground. I can get you a new one.
I thought I had it on the table. I'll use this one.
Oh.
B3. That is a what's SU?
Superficial. You just have +1 to obstacles right now. But now what are you gonna do? This guy's gonna keep biting you if you don't find something new to do to him.
Alright, so I still have him like this though?
Yeah.
With his arm like that?
It's just you won't be able to try. I had to try something new besides trying to break his arm.
Alright. I'm going to, is there like a carriage or a tree? Is there a tree near me?
There's a fence
Mhm.
from the farm.
Nothing.
That's like a fence that goes around. It's there's not really many trees around this. This is like a very open, fieldy, hilly kind of place.
How close is it to me? Like within like 2 or 3 feet?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay. I want to like still hold it like this, grab like over here where it's holding me,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to like thrust myself against the fence, like basically as hard as I can to try to like loosen his grip to where I can get free.
Okay.
So that would be power again.
Yes. Let's see. What would be appropriate for him to try and resist that? Maybe another bite. Except I have to. In order to damage you again, he's gonna need to beat your power. But he's gonna try to bite you to keep you from being able to focus on ramming him against the thing. All right. He's got 1 success.
I got 3.
All right. So you slam him up against the fence posts, and he kind of loosens his grip on you as you do so.
Am I able to like slip away from him? Or
Yeah, you can get away from him now.
Alright. I don't really want to go too far away from him. Like I'm assuming he's on the ground, like trying to get up.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to draw the bone dagger that I have, and like hold him on the ground and like go stab him in the chest.
Okay. Just before when you have him on the ground, you have your knife in your hand. Before you stab him, you hear a voice call out, "Lucius."
Do I recognize the voice?
It sounds familiar, but it's kind of muffled, so we can't tell exactly who the voice belongs to. Yeah.
I guess while holding him down, I'm gonna kind of like glance over my shoulder.
You see, it is the smaller of the armored people that came out. He has a sword drawn, and you see the sword. His voice might have been a little familiar, but the sword is dead on. It's a sword from the White Towers, and you hear a song as he holds the sword out towards you. He sings the song of the swords to empower himself.
Alright, I want to, kind of like in a casual motion, I still want to stab the thing, and then as I'm getting up, I'm drawing my sword.
All right, you stab it. It lets out like a.
Just as it's making that noise, I twist.
And then just dies. You stand up to face down this thing. All right, you, dwarf, what are you doing in the farm? What are you doing? Farming.
Well, I was.
You hear the goat say from outside the farm. Yeah. This is all right. Anyways, gotta keep it a little quick then. All right, so yeah, you little here guy.
Well, as here's as all is here, as I hear, yeah. I turned when I was around time.
What you turn to?
I'm talking to the guy with the goat.
Where's the guy? You're gonna go. You're gonna go make a noise.
Someone asked me what I'm doing.
I was just saying it as a DM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what you're doing in the farm? What are you doing?
Well,
You see together.
okay, so all I was doing,
Yep, you hear scrapes and scratches and crazy nonsense going outside of the farm. And it stinks pretty bad in this place. All the dead bodies and whatnot.
I rummaged through the bodies.
You find farmers clothes. There's not really much on these people. They're farmer families as far as you can tell.
What's up here?
step out and look at the most difficult battle. Like, look for the person who had the hardest time. Like, the person had a boss.
Okay. Well, you step out, you see a few things coming about. You see Corvus smashing his hammer into the chest of the armor thing, and it crumbles to the ground. You see Lucius squaring off with the other sword-wielding person, and you see Nolan about to be confronted by the other pair. And you also see the Black Knight finishing off with the other thing, cloak, is kind of like, it just stabbed it through the chest, pulling out the thing, big black armor. You see, CDR just kind of sitting on his horse, looking out. His face is kind of like oddly serene, based on what's going on around him. One more thing. You also see, the other soldier sitting on his horse. He has his bow. He's like, he wants to be between all these combats, seeing what he can do when something hits him. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Something hits him, and an arrow sails out of somewhere, and you see it hit this soldier kind of like in the back of the neck. It kind of like drops his bow, falls face first into the ground. Just like instantly.
I also have that one too. I don't remember what it's called. Yeah.
As it happens, you see the king on his horse, just kind of his eyes just widen, and you see his skin just glow with red hot fury, and he just steps down from the horse, looking up to a distance that you don't know what he's looking at. You hear his voice kind of like coming out and say, "You wish to incite a god, and you will feel his wrath." And then a big ball of fire just erupts from him. Everyone gonna make a steel test. I'll tell you, against your hesitation, and where are you? Where are you? Steel. So this is a big. You get one once you guys still feel like you're kind of safe, but it's gonna be kind of a house because use your hesitation plus 4. So you're rolling your steel against everybody, including your hesitation plus 4. It's all open-ended, so you never know, man.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hesitation plus a 4 is the odds. I'm not being fucked right now. Okay, so open-ended, you moved up. If it's open-ended, needs 2 more.
Did open-ended, I'm sorry, I was open-ended on that.
2 more. Okay, that's good.
Pretty good. You gotta figure out this other guy's thing. Let's see. Hesitation for you roll your all stuff, Mr. Golden. Alright. You steal against your hesitation plus 4.
I need 4 up.
Yes, and 6 is already automatically open-ended.
Got 2 success.
2 successes. Okay. Well, this ball of fire erupts from where the king says. This ball of fire just goes across the field like a trail, like a blazing trail, towards some kind of sort of far off distance land. You see it like sprout up flames when it stops. You hear cold screams of anguish. So yeah, you guys are all hesitating. How are you guys gonna hesitate? You can either fall upon the like mercy, stand in neutral, swoon, or run screaming. I'm gonna tell you right now. Run screaming, stand neutral, fall upon beg for mercy, or swoon. Swoon is like pain. Let's say right now, the two armed guys, the big one going for control, the one that was standing up, you were running away, screaming their asses off. You're gonna run away screaming? What are you doing? Mr. Vegas?
Well, I'm probably gonna fall back. I'm gonna stand in the rule, but I'm gonna fall back big mercy.
The Black Knight also seems to be stunned by what he sees. The Black Knight, the one that's has his throat split open. Alright, so the others, why you guys stand there? You know, you're the first ones to awaken from your stupor. You see the flame, by the time 2 heartbeats have passed, the flames have already died off in the distance. There's still flames kind of where you guys are, they're not spreading, they're just kind of in that trail. And you do see the king walking back slowly, dragging what looks like a body by his hands.
How does it do on fire? How does it do on fire? Okay. That was on first. I know. That's the short shot. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. It was an old Italian routine.
Alright, so, but unless you guys are gonna run away or something, the king eventually makes his way back. The Black Knight runs over to him, asking how you're fine. When the king, is everything right? The king just kind of waves him off. He pulls the bodies he has in his hands, and they're all like charred, blackened skeletons. He just tosses them on the ground before walking over to Travis with the hair in the back of his neck.
Travis,
Yes. He looks like he's old, he's dead. Dead beat, but how he kind of kneels at him and places his hands around his neck and just seems focused on what he's doing.
so I won't pull my neck off.
Okay. Yeah, the one armored folk he didn't run away to kill him, he pulled off the mask to see he is an orc.
Well, 30 dogs or is it just being an orc? Thank you very much for I like your style.
Well, honestly, just in the back,
Fires have died, they seem to have died down by themselves at this point, as the king is focused on trying to save Travis.
I still sit there just watching everything going on.
Okay.
But I am not really powerful.
The Black Knight seems to be having like whispered words with the king. He turns and walks over you guys. He's not Karen. Karen's the guy that's his throat slit. Cameron's the bigger one. This guy is a little bit smaller. He walks over you guys. He just kind of pulls off his helmet. You see that he himself is also an orc, but he's very pale. Very Karen was that one of your best all the time. If you want to go second, you can. He's you're fine now. Well, he takes off his helmet, and he's orc, but his skin is super very pale, almost like transparent. You can see veins all over his skin. and he says, "Look, we'll go over what's happened to you, but we really need to get you guys in questioning at the kingdom. Once that's out of the way, we'll move on to what's happened here."
So, it's not important enough to discuss now, or
I'm probably not going to chase him, or
The king, the king working on that same forces out as we speak.
yeah, this is happening like every day.
This is not. There's been occurrences within the kingdom themselves. Some revolutionary person thinking to take on the king by himself, and never was organized. This is a first. Please, we need you to the kingdom.
I'm going to walk over to Karen Bond, and I still have my sword out. I'm going to kind of like sit in the ground next to his body, and then pull off on him.
Okay. You see that Aaron was an elf, much like yourself. He's also very pale with veins in his skin. The veins, you see the veins underneath his skin. His eyes are also like almost really blind. Because they're so like built over, much like the girl you guys just talked with. And the blood that's coming from his neck is very black. Very different from your. Well, he's dead.
So then, I want to see if it didn't really like trying to get on
Trinkets. You don't find anything of note besides his armor. It seems there's just getting iron armor.
I want to pick him up and while I'm sheathing my sword, and pick him up and then put his body in the back of the car.
Oh, guard, roll off.
So there's no
Well, as you're in the middle of doing this, you guys see what looks like a company of men riding the king in y'all's direction. At the head is someone that, somebody y'all might recognize. He's one of the high lords, the nobles. He is Arthur Scorpius, leading a battalion of men on horses. They ride up, get moving close enough to like proximity, and Arthur steps down from his horse. Just surveys the scene, like his face just stripped with horror and astonishment. He looks at all three of you, his eyes pointing forward, and says, "What happened here?"
No one tells us anything.
We'll get situated. As you all hop, Garland comes walking up, grabs us in his arms, and says, "The boy will live, but come must hurry. We have to bring him to the ears of the kingdom."
Alright, so,
Yeah, he's holding crabs in his arms.
where do we need to go? We need to speak with someone, we need to question.
Yes. Arthur just feels like, yes, I'll take you guys there.
is there anything I can do to help the boy? He has a background in medical procedures.
Girl says, "I'm very sorry, maybe after the question, but it is imperative you don't answer to these visitors."
So it's more important to answer questions than to say your lives now.
It's very complicated. Things in the kingdom have gotten very heated. This is Arthur speaking. Things in the kingdom have gotten very heated since this whole debacle. We'll make sure the boy is seen to proper healers and treated well. If he has been touched by Arthur, we can ensure that he will live through this. Well, unless you guys are questioning.
What did you not do? Surveys?
So I just kind of standing outside.
He's off, like,
So zero. This is cool.
like the very outside of the
see that some of the company men that come with the cars are very exciting to some bodies. They throw it off the color and you see that it's like you've never seen this before. It looks like a humanized rat thing. It's got like a bulb on his head. It's white though. Like its fur is milk white and eyes are red, but it's very dead. None of you can see, kind of like the guard, the other soldiers are kind of like expecting it themselves.
I want to shove past him without saying anything, grab the dagger, and pull it out.
Okay.
Sword. And then that'll be with
Alright. Well,
I guess looking around, I would say, let's look at the dwarf and go. Anybody, with that?
Minor. Minor range is farmland.
yeah, you're not that far away. Our house is actually just being walked over to you. And he kind of like kneels down getting your level.
Well,
Arthur just looks over you and kind of kneels level and says, yes, what are you doing here, dwarf?
I was.
Seemed to me like you've arrived at a very opportune moment. You're one of the goat farmers for that family, are you not?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm one of the. Yeah. One of the heroes. What's going on here?
Well, here's the king was attacked by a band of revolutionaries. You don't believe in his rule. There have been single attacks before, but this is the most organized force that tried to lay waste to the king.
Well,
You wouldn't have any part in this, would you?
not at all, sir. If you look inside the farmhouse, you go and check. You'll see the guys playing on the river.
Well, more chorus. You got any idea what the procedure is? I mean, come on. Random pedestrian just happens to be here. He's taken under questioning, and all you just told him everything. Never worry about causing a panic that there's a revolution going on in the city. It's not exactly
I mean, obviously,
secretive. The king likes to make his rounds with the humans and stuff. There have been frequent attacks on his life in the middle of public areas. We'll bring in the book for questioning too. You can be sure.
As you're talking to him, I have to lean over to a door and touch the ad says, Course is bad, right? Pretty sure that Course is bad. You were to come back now.
You would go back now.
Alright.
I believe so.
Interesting. The characters are a lot alike and very different at the same time. Also, I'm noticing weapons needles. Also, I'm noticing by the looks of your armor, you alright?
The air to the chest, and the armor kind of, good job.
That's good. And also, when I'm talking to Bill, I'm like ripping pieces of my what are they called? Like a pattern. Tearing a small piece of pattern off and holding it in my neck.
And the violin. Yeah, roll a fort against disease, please. But you also see most of your health thing.
You know what the bonus is?
I think I have it down. Characters, we got right here. That's his zero. You get +1 to health. And 4 tests. Yeah, I guess you get a little health test. With +1 dice because you're defensive bird.
And those are all open.
No, there's an extra point. I think right. Alright. Yeah, the rule is
Holy shit, you're like, I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But yeah, you feel it's nothing more than simple break of the skin. You know, over time. There you go. Good work. Alright, so while you guys are having little conversations, Garu kind of heaves up Travis's body to one of the company men, and they kind of ride off with him towards the kingdom. The black guy now, like, 2 foot line side.
What about camping? So we going to be like...
Garu, just looks at the body, he walks over to it, and, he places his hand over Karen's face, and you see his skin get, like, thinner and thinner until it just kind of crumbles in on itself and turns to ash. When Garu says he's with the earth now.
What did you do?
I released him from his bondage. He no longer served me.
Something about that is like, I'm sorry. What did you do to him?
All my personal life is signed up or something. I can't give you details with you for your one of them, but if you agree to this, it's the way it must be. I'll please you must hurry back to the kingdom.
I kind of like glance over at the other black knight or just to see if he like...
He has another back on, so you can't really...
Well, I think if he like did like a little head nod or anything, like I might
Oh, you're saying-
have him a question.
He doesn't say it. So, right. Yeah, the Black Knight has the honor of the following. And yeah, so, was anyone else do anything else? Right? I'll gather up some horses and ride off to the kingdom. And we also split your ways, and Arthas leads you guys to the guard halls. And there's 2 big buildings to the kingdom. There's the guard halls and the soldier building. Barracks, yeah. He leads you towards the guard halls and brings you guys inside. There's a, as you walk in, there's a room that's specifically for questioning. There's like outside of the doorway to the room, tables and chairs, you know, the people who are waiting to sit in. And, someone turns you guys and says, alright, who would like to go first?
Before we do, can I have a word with my squad
Go first. Yeah, a little thief or...
But I'm just having to like pull it off to the side and feel I'm comfortable in the fact that I would be over here.
Rolling. Keep them rolling.
By the way, what I was going to ask if I needed to just go check for and I realized I didn't. I just want to point out that I purposely do not tell anyone that I noticed the sword.
Oh, it's like, yeah, I got it. Alright, so,
Alright, Bill, since we're just about to be interrogated, I have told you, me,
not seeing what we've seen, we already agreed to leave it together. No matter what's about to happen. Now, in this interrogation, if you pay close attention to the words that they use, not so much the questions, but how they question it, we'll be able to gain more information from them than they can for us. But now, when you answer the questions, you need to be very careful in your answers, and also think of survivability on your part. Give them just enough information to be satisfied, but not enough to not too much of what we know. We don't know what they're actually able for just yet. So I just wanted to make sure you guys keep that in mind and basically counter interrogate.
Is there any reason why I guess suspicious of we feel?
What do you mean interrogate?
Given everything we've seen and the fact that our caravan was just attacked, and they'd rather rush us to the city and interrogate us than, you know, deal with that threat first, that throws a big flag. Not to mention the whole demon then from Gar.
Yeah. This is not what people. This is a pin as well for a long time. Anything happens today, for some reason, you know, you won't value me, you won't value me. I'm not saying like I'm dead, I'm not saying I'm in prison and I can't be any use to you. No, I'm saying if there's some reason I am no longer physically able to be with you and Nolan, take this to the monastery in town, to the Watcher. I have a cousin hold up there. Last I heard he's a monk. This should loosen the loose a little bit. The bond is just for the monk who's maybe a little erratic, and he's a pretty good guy. He's taller than most.
At the same time, if the same thing were to happen to me, I need you to get in contact with Sylvanas and just appraise her of the situation.
Let's pray, it's not those of us, no one has to wander aimlessly by himself. Back to what crying.
That's a good point, actually, since Dolan basically has less connection than us, less likely that he won't any type of martial consequences will come towards him, since he literally has followers of everyone just spotted out and himself. I figured statistically he should be the one that would be away. Pretty clear. So I'm going to hand him my one of my personal effects being like signet ring. I'm going to say if anything were to happen to both me and Corliss, you need to take this along and preserve the situation and the situation being at your feet and they're going to know about it. Whereas you
And your effects should be a signet ring. Eleven's signet ring. The reason I'm telling you to go to my cousins is because I feel being the leader of the squad, current leader, more responsibility falls on me, therefore I'm more likely to face the full fury of punishment. So, you know, worst case scenario, I'm looking at a decade in prison.
I would understand that, but at the same time, my current interrogation methods can usually be in trouble.
Well, we'll just have to see who seems more threatening, you or I.
If I'm getting into prison, we should do a forearm shake.
Alright, let's do this. Oh yeah, sorry, one that I got you involved in this. I really hate my dad.
Whoa. I'm just trying to get a good name. Anyway, that's it.
So currently, you're a vet.
No.
city, they still have a reputation, no reputation.
I actually have quite a reputation.
I'm sorry.
What's your name? I'm about to slightly racist already.
Steve, what does number play?
Only if you are one yourself. That way I can laugh at irony.
What is your name?
Surveys. Surveys. You can call me by that.
Well, anyway, it's reported on the tagline of the work card that says, which one would you like to go first for interrogations?
I'd like to go first, just so I can get out of here.
I can understand. And there's two guards positioned at the door leading to the interrogation room, and Arthur says, all men, if you all promise to be your best behavior, I'll be on my way. It was nice seeing you all. He kind of looks at you, his eyes kind of leaning on her wrist. He walks away. I think I got that.
Ask you a question.
Uh,
What's your relationship like? Is it kind of like a hate love type thing?
he's my family officer. I have an issue with Cody. I hate him.
As in, would never do anything for him.
Well, his dad.
His dad,
I never really used my dad. Yes, Will. What's the story? They're working off guessing. I'm trying to be perfectly vague. Like, I'm not really admitting to it. Well,
Well,
let's just...
that's true. I did ask, like, questions. What's your relationship?
He's my family officer. I have money, but I didn't totally. I don't like doing this kind of thing off for
Let's see. I was just curious. The way you're back, and I mean, obviously we haven't heard of him before, but it seems a little more
well, the few times that I've met him, he doesn't seem to mind him or very rude with him, so he's never yelled at me for it, so I'm not going to stop now.
Well, he's I'm sure he deals with his erratic type behavior like that all the time.
He's a pushover, obviously. He won't be in my voice. He's obviously weak.
It is different. I think we're having a conversation about that.
Alright, so, Vegas just stepped in the interrogation room, and, you see something you don't quite expect. There are visitors, there's two of them, there's one seated at the table, like in the center of the room, there's one kind of standing off. They're male, female standing off, resting at the table, and the male, however, is like, he's wearing chains. There's a big, like, collar around his neck, and from that collar, there's chains that go down to his wrists that keeps his hand locked on the table, and you can see there's chains at his ankles. And he looks up at you. You don't see anything in those black eyes of his. There doesn't seem to be anything going on behind them. And as you enter, he says, hello, you must be the dwarf with the name they don't talk about.
Just call me.
Surveys.
Yeah.
Very well. I am Inquisitor Arnold Pike. And this is Inquisitor Meredith the Cow. Meredith's turning his glare. Arms folding. So there will be a few questions I'll be asking you, but if it makes you feel at ease, you're more than welcome to ask me a few questions in return. We can do back and forth, or I ask a few questions, then you ask a few questions. My first question, what are you doing at the farm?
Well, if you were to talk to if you were to talk to my employer, or even go to my place of employment, you can go to farms or the community. You would, if you were looking bored of things that had done, whatnot, I was supposed to go and deliver a goat. I'll be sick of the goat. I don't agree with what was going on, but anyway, delivered a goat to a man who was paid to pay for. I believe the name was O'Malley.
Yes, O'Malley is the farm owner. Was the farm owner.
Right. I noticed, or I was told that it was, I was told that the resistance shot his head off, but I saw it.
What did you see?
I actually saw, I'm not sure what he may have done, I don't know if he was, that he suspected that maybe I was part of the resistance or what, but I distinctly remember watching the human, the one, I think his name might have been Corey, or
This man.
right. I think I'm very certain I saw him decapitate the man himself, and all while one of the dwarves, I'm hoping he was just buying it, was sitting and watching.
So what you're saying right now is that Corvus killed the family? Okay.
The other two, they weren't really doing much, they were letting doing it, do it.
Okay.
Shit.
Alright. As you're saying this, he gives you, like, the look he's giving you is very intense, like he's staring almost into your very soul. And before you can continue, it says, I'm well aware that you're lying to me. That that is very suspicious. Why would you lie? Like Corvus is the one who killed this man. What are you trying to prove?
So I can't lie to you. Well, honestly, I don't like this guy so far because, well, I don't like either the elf or the dwarves because they are rather insulting. I come from pretty noble lineage. Maybe, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of me. Apparently, quite a few people have. I don't like throwing reputations around, but a lot of people call me the dwarf with a name because my last name is Delicious. I was raised by
Your first name is also of Elvis says it is now the word meaning of the sun.
well, I wasn't so sure of that, but I know for a fact that my last name is Elvis because it was taken from the person raised, which was the premise of in Elven Enclave.
Well, right. This look still is intense at you, and it says you were not from the elves. Or it was a kind of story. It is not true. Why do you
I'm not from the Elves, but
You were not raised by elves. There is no elven prince. The elves are a scattered race. Why do you lie to me? What are you hiding? The other bit of she has her hand on holding her sword. That wasn't there before. But she's still looking pretty itchy. If you do not stop telling me the truths, I fear you might face the bears for quite some time. possibility is that you're actually wrong.
There is no possibility that.
None at all.
No.
I mean, you are a being just plain.
Yes, but I am gifted, much like yourself.
Gifted doesn't necessarily mean perfect.
My eyes are perfect.
I'm afraid I don't believe you. Because what I'm telling you is true. Going in there, you're gonna have to, but that's the only story I have.
If you do not wish to give me two planets, you must detain you to figure out which you are holding. I am afraid. He kind of nods to Meredith, who pulls out her sword and makes her way towards you, sleep. Alright.
I say nothing from by.
Okay.
And I also say, my people will know, my people will, my people will have me out here soon.
Perhaps.
You'll know your fault.
Grabs you by the scuff of your shirt and leads you out of the interrogation room. Right. Gotta call those other fools.
You realize that the test for falsehood didn't roll.
Make a test.
I mean, I didn't.
You were so lying, I just kind of got caught up in the role play, so you can do your best. Mr. Man. You get 2 tests, you get 2 lies. Hey, you guys! Yeah, come on.
Well, I love that.
You got official falsehood now?
I don't need to test because I have will.
You got official falsehood. So you kind of... Alright, so, while you guys are sitting around the table, you see a woman dressed in Inquisitor garb holding the dwarf by the scuff of his shirt. She drags him out of the interrogation room and kind of says to one of the guards, "Take this one to the barracks. We'll deal with him later."
Well, it sounded like someone wasn't so innocent.
Are you like resisting or
No. I told them my story and apparently they voted on it.
Come on, I'm dwarf. Says one of the guards like, he's in the back.
He told me where he been.
And the woman turns to you and says, "Alright, which one of you next?"
Well, I guess as a leader, I should go first. He's my second in command, and
Come on.
I'm on first.
I kind of give him, like, we have like one of those, like,
Yeah, like
I would say this is my looking at each other, like, I'm kind of challenged, but I think I'm like, one collide, one to go.
Wait, what would it be one?
You will score, right? So you'd be a half your will.
Before I remember what we talked.
Oh, yeah.
And also remember we talked on the way here.
Yeah.
About actions and consequences.
He's coaching on this. Well, I'm kind of like, not really like, like, speaking.
Probably like 9 sounds.
Yeah, like, when I put my hand on his shoulder, I'm just like, remember what we said.
Okay. So, you step into the engagement room, the woman closes the door behind you, and she enters as well. And you see, it's very bare, just a table with 2 chairs. There's a man sitting on the other side of the table. He is very thin. His black hair that kind of goes apart in the middle and down. But what's really odd about him is his dress. He's in chains. There's a big metal collar around his neck, and from the collar is chains that keep his wrists bound on the table. And his feet are cuffed together below it, and the woman steps over to the side, holding her arms, and enters the man says, "Where's Spanner?"
Well, Mr. I didn't know we were having this kind of party. A little different from my taste, but it's your show.
I am Inquisitor Arlo Pike. This is Inquisitor Meredith DeCap.
Alright, so
We'll be asking you some questions today. If it makes you feel comfortable, you may ask me questions in turn. You can do this one by one, or by ask series of questions and then the next series of questions.
I have a query character. I know about what he is, because he doesn't sound exactly human.
You've heard rumors about people like this? You've heard of them called awakened? People who had committed violent crimes of passion in the past, but they had useful skills, so can you create that special surgery magic will be performed on them to kind of block off the parts of the brain that
Basically, they're traditionally a lobotomy. He pulls them down permanently.
You've never seen one in person before.
Well, because there's a type, don't mind me asking what you do, as you are.
Meredith kind of makes a move to interrupt, but Pike just kind of raises his arms to stop her, and he says, "I murdered my wife and my little girl."
Heavy stuff. Well, enough about you, let's talk about me.
Yes. So, when was ever was it apparent that your leader was going against Garu's orders?
I can't say I would know. I wasn't ever really fully briefed on orders were, so I was kind of following orders. Though honestly, I didn't agree with her orders. I'll admit, I don't use her orders. I argued with her that night about how I thought it was all crazy and suicidal. She disagreed. I guess I was right.
What were the orders that you disagreed with particularly?
Well, honestly, I just felt that. I'm gonna go false but this is sounds like an overt lie. But it's like I don't want to make Meryl look bad at this point, right? Because I'm about to say, well, I found out she was basically killing people off on purpose. What the? I call myself and I say, I just thought that her tactics were inadequate and too rash for someone of her experience.
Gotcha. You know what? Pizza eventually this. Alright, so he is a little 6, so that's possible.
And what's my,
It's based off of Will. So he helps with both. So,
yeah, there's no way I'm going to follow up the 7-minute catch me in my eye.
alright, we'll do one more. You say this. You see his eyes, while they're like kind of seem dead to the world, they kind of look at you with this sort of intensity and concentration you never felt like someone stared at you this way before. And he says, "You were nervous for this. Why are you nervous? It's because of the lie. Because you try to hide the truth."
Alright, let's just say it was something I uncovered that I didn't have actual proof until later that night. But I don't like to speak ill of the dead or that's severely injured, and I believe Meryl's in the hospital bed somewhere, probably dying right now.
You were then speaking of Meryl's tendency to get interstellar in his kingdom.
I don't think I'm answering that question.
Very well.
when your group was out there for approximately 3 weeks and 6 days, at one point was it that Merrill fell and you came under command?
Ambush. We were attacked by some children, possessed, I assume, or possibly coerced into service under a monster, and, well, gonna be what happened is evident by looking at Merrill. It's not pretty.
Yes. Were you privy to knowing that she had disobeyed the king at this point of your coming under command?
I actually don't remember. Was that her actual orders? I don't think I've ever given that information.
Yeah, I think Lucius knew, but I don't know if he ever shared with you guys that.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did. I wasn't aware of the last orders were that your chief would be taken down, so that's what we did.
Your orders were not to take down the chief. The chief was to surrender on the king, not to be slaughtered within his own home.
We told them no.
So it was you then who slaughtered the war chief.
I don't have a comfortable answer to that question.
Does not matter, you must answer it.
Let me ask you a question. Ask you a question. You said we're allowed to be back and forth here.
Yes.
My last orders were to slaughter the war chief. I did it. I wasn't aware of any other orders. That's what I did. Just as you are ordered to carry me now, even though you're not probably sure what you're trying to exactly fish out of me. Probably she's over there taking notes mentally, and at the end of all this, you're going to report back to your boss, and that's how that bureaucracy works. We all do what we're supposed to do. I was just doing what I was supposed to do.
I did not hear your question.
Fuck you.
Your attitude only proves your guilt further. Not anyone's answering my question. Did you slaughter the war chief?
I killed him. I didn't slaughter him. He sent spiders after us in the caves. We figured it ourselves. We were trying to get actually to help us. The monster, she was terrible. We didn't know what to do. We needed the war chief. We hoped he actually had some survivors down there, but all he had was 3 large spiders, and we had to fend those off. And after that, he tried to run away, and I killed him. We were told to destroy him, and he was running away. I didn't let him escape on orders. Sure, I might be guilty of not following your orders, but can I truly be guilty if I didn't know what they were to begin with? I wasn't informed.
Your company, as in all SS companies, was informed of assaulting lower encampments and leaving the war chief alone. Instead, your company went straight for the war chief and killed him, disrupting all of the king's well-laid plans. It's because of you that we risk having the entire force of the Oral tribes bearing down upon us. That is why we wish our answers.
So, you got your answer.
Yes, it appears I do. He just nudges to Meredith. Says, if she has a sword, Meredith is hilt, she looks at you and says, so, you gonna come along quietly then, Corvus?
Well, it depends. I'm under arrest.
For the time being, yes you are.
Do I get a fair and speedy trial?
Perhaps. We'll see.
Well,
shackles from a belt, places them on your wrists, and kind of like puts her hand on the back of your shoulder, leading you out of the interrogation room. Alright, time to get guys in here. Jeez, it sounds like it'd be good. Everyone when you walk out escorted by a guard.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do there. I mean, I lied.
Yeah, you kind of have to push it to the corner. Oh, it's raining. Nice.
Just me or
Oh, yeah, everyone come back in. Everyone come back in. Yeah. Alright, so, after a few, it's kind of very brief, you see, Meredith escorting, Corvus out in chains. One of the Inquisitors, the young Inquisitor that you've seen come out. She's human.
the truth doesn't work, but neither does lying. You're being hustled away.
The guard, the guard who just came back from restoring Dwarf comes out just as he's like,
Remember what we talked about? Go find him.
I will. The guard is just like, oh, God damn it. And the sword forwards out. Meredith turns to the two remaining and says, alright, who's next? Okay. Okay, so you enter the interrogation room. Meredith closes the door behind you. You see it is a very bare room. The furniture is a table with two chairs. Your chair and the other Inquisitor's chair. He's a man, also human. He's very thin, with long black hair spread out the side. And what's most really about is the chains that he's wearing. He's got a very large collar on his neck, and from the collar of those chains, it goes down to his wrist to keep him bound on the table. There's chains at his ankles that keep him bound there too. Meredith walks over behind him, kind of like pulls her arms, and as you enter, he says, Lucius Bellows. I am Inquisitor Arnold Pike. This is Inquisitor Meredith the Cow. Would you please have a seat? Please, to your best details, recall me what happened from the moment you arrived at the Lord Chief's encampment. First, you open your mouth to say something, and as soon as you do, the door behind you slams open, and you hear a very familiar shrill voice say, now what in the hell is going on in here? You see, Sylvanas Dellatos standing. She's not a very imposing figure based on her stature. She's very small. She probably goes up to like the bottom of your chest because you're so big. But she looks quite imposing. The ferocity in her face and the fire in her eyes.
So that really sets her immediately stand up, back away from the table, and then take you from that.
She looks to you and says, very nice to see you, Lucius. Now, what the hell? I was given specific orders by the king that any of my men who are under question to come directly to me, not to you Inquisitors. Meredith looks quite taken aback by this interruption. Arnold, his face is just expressionless, his eyes dead, and he says, I'm very sorry, you're just following the king's orders. And he says, well, now you're going to be following my orders. Lucius just comes with me. You guys interrogate whoever the hell you want to. He's coming with me. Apparently she's about to say something, but just kind of looks awkwardly at the floor. Arnold just nods and says, very well. She still honest, kind of wind to take out of her is except just looks at you and says, come on. Right? You
exit winner, probably saying, Dolan. You see, there's also another one of your swords with you guys. You also know his name's Archer. He's also the shorter statue. He's just there to accompany you guys as she leads you out of the barracks. And unless you say anything, she's very silent as she strides on forward, leading you back into the soldier barracks, up to the tower, to our office. She's the head of your order. Oh, like official, well, let's see, let's call her, she'd be like, oh, what did you think of your appropriate title for the head of the White Towers? Something I was thinking out loud, like maybe like the hilt, because she keeps giving her swords, she keeps guys together. I don't know if that always sounded like an opposing title. I mean, either, I mean, just call her head of the order for now, I'm thinking about it later. Alright, so she leads, that's a very, like, powerful stride as she leads you and Archer up to the top of the tower where our office is. As soon as she flings open the door, you hear, Master! And flies right into your face. It's a strange pet you picked up. Savannah says she kind of lays off Archer, who bows, and he's the room closes the door behind him. Yeah. It's been like a week now. Well, I grabbed a note, so I have some sort of an idea. Your group is in quite trouble in this kingdom. I guess you could blame that on me. Well, you see, me and Arthur just kind of started out in trouble with the nobility. You see, they were out for you guys' heads. What was his name? The one with the beard. High Lord, Orion. High Lord Orion is just begging the king for your heads on a spike. So me and Arthur decided to stir up some trouble and spread these rumors that you lie. It's slaying demons while left and right. And a lot of the populace has been cheering for y'all's, lives to be spared for your duty to the king. Why exactly is this guy after? He's always been a little modest boy. He's devoted to that orc king. So I wouldn't go that far. The king is an alright fellow, but this is for further discussion. I wish to know, Lucius, what happened out there. Well, upon reaching the orphan encampment, we did like a little recon, and their entire encampment was empty, not a soul inside. And we thought this would be extremely odd. And we caught one of we met Mama Luja, a orc witch doctor, that fed us some incredible lies and tales about what happened at the encampment. And what did you think? Oh, like, what's on the sheet? It is Piaget. She started to spin lies about him, and then some really weird things started happening, like some omen type things. Crows would fall on us and keeping close eye on us. It's actually how I fed you. He's basically the only one that has a free thinking mind. Hello, he says, plus
he doesn't follow up. You sure he's not still in the bad mood?
For everything that he's done for me, I can say not.
I trust your judgment. Just continue, please.
Some pretty supernatural type things happened. She apparently had control of her children, and they would bleed a black, acidic blood that actually caused her some serious problems. And then, is that really a
Meryl.
And then Meryl was attacked and almost killed. I'm not even really sure what's going to happen with her. And our medic, Grace, was captured by Maluja, and basically she put this curse on him with these weird orc, or weird, like, I guess you could say, runes.
Yes, similar to what we found on Meryl.
And we were informed, what was about that?
What are you reading from?
About, like, if we can, no, it was by,
Yeah, right.
and our orc guide, which I found to be very suspicious that we were even an orc guide.
Yes, I never agreed with that.
And he informed us that the markings that were on Grace were kind of like a control type spell, where we would give her the full control on Lucia, and if we did anything to remove the markings, it would relieve her really, so no harm. And eventually, we devised a plan to find Piash and release him from the spider pits that he was all up on, and use his help along with spiders to go and attack Mama Lucia and kind of snake off the head basically. But when we got to Piash, he was a complete and utter coward, and he suffered a coward's death because of it. And we eventually found Mama Lucia in a cave that had a whole bunch of like witch doctor type things. It was what I perceived to be a witch doctor, you know, artifacts and such in the cave. And it just so happens to be the prisoner that I was with, Dole. He stumbled upon a pit that was hidden underneath the carpet that had just an uncountable amount of orc bodies, all mutilated and dead, and on top of all the corpses was Mama Lucia. And we're not too sure what happened there.
So she's dead then?
As far as I can tell, for sure, her body's dead. But I just had this sneaking suspicion that it might have been some sort of ritual. I don't know if she's dead. I don't know if she's summoned something else and killed her.
Did you burn the bodies?
We did burn the bodies.
Good.
Burn them. And then another thing of note, as we were, I'm sure you've heard by now that we were attacked on our way.
Yes.
And this rat humanoid creature jumped onto me, and as I swung off me, I was, I guess the word would be accosted by someone behind me. As I looked, it was an elf with a blade of a white house. I didn't really recognize him, nor did I really have a chance to give it a look either. But
It has to be one of us if he has the sword. Did he perform any songs?
it is almost all the same as
Damn it. Must have been one of the ones that when the road, once we arrived here, became mercenary. Why did we accost the king?
I'm not too sure, but I do know that the king is some sort of amazing, awesome use some sort of amazing and awesome magic that frightened them all away. And to be honest, it left me stupid for quite a while, just seeing that amount of power coming there. I've never really had a full view of how powerful he actually is.
Well, what kind of so lucky then he chose to let us win his kingdom and not just blow us all up. But I think Lucius for information, hopefully with this, you can get that wretch of a human thing, Meryl, locked up or killed for what she did.
I don't really think her situation is as it appears.
She went against
I don't fully know what your information is.
well, apparently Meryl, a love letter, decided to have one last hurrah and go directly against the king's orders, which is to not kill the war chief, but force him into peace by attacking his own encampments. Your squad was set to a lower encampment, but she instead chose to send you all directly to the war chief himself, and you all did a dirty work for her. I'll make sure she pays for what she's done.
But my lady, as I said before, I don't think it is all like that. She has, I'd say, authoritative trust issues when it comes to the king, and I'm starting to believe for good reason. That just gets the feeling that it tightens sometimes. It makes no sense to me why a king would come out instead of sending just an average contingent of soldiers to come, because he himself wrote out, he needs something
Perhaps you said yourself they had great power. Perhaps they needed that great power for whatever might have been around. Except that
they could have sent mages, they could have sent, stronger soldiers than the ones that are even in his contingent. I've trained with him in much stronger than the ones that are in weapons. He took great risk coming out of it. And as far as Meryl's concerned, I believe she was able to maybe she knew something, maybe she had some sort of information of some kind, but she knew something wrong with this whole situation. I just feel that she knew something wrong. And I would assume that I had like a sort of close relationship with Solange.
yeah, she's really close with all you guys. She has her mother to you a lot.
So I imagine she would know that I had affairs.
Like, well, if you were vocal about it, she probably would have heard about it if you talked about it.
Well, yeah, I would assume that me, fully and 100% trust Solange that I would have told them.
Yeah.
So I want to follow what I'm saying. And what I've just told you, I don't want you to think that I put any emotion into these ideas or thoughts. This is truly what I believe.
I understand your point, Lucius, but without hard evidence, I cannot believe that our king would deceive us in such a way. We came to him with nothing. If he had turned us away, I do not believe we would have lasted much longer, but he gave us a home. Without him, there wouldn't be any of us left. And he went out personally to save you. Perhaps he sees use in us, in the swords. Perhaps he needs as many of us as possible, and he didn't want to risk losing you. I cannot fault him for that, Lucius. I'm sorry.
But at the same time, and maybe I'm being overly pessimistic, but we had it rough since we went to the city. And yes, the war stopped because neither one of us wanted any more bloodshed. Now, and hear me out is maybe a little harebrained and out there, but maybe the king made that peace
What would be gaining from doing this?
effectively shattered the entire Elven civilization that we knew. The chances of us recovering from that are so small right now. And he knows that tactically it's an ingenious idea. It truly is.
You were suggesting that the king is the one who started our civil war?
Maybe not started, but I think he's in a high position of power, and we were a great threat to him.
Lucius, you're well aware that I was the one who second in command when our people were at its greatest. I was the one who disagreed with the head of our order and how he should be handled. I was the one who plunged my sword in his heart. That is what stopped the war. At that point, there were so few of us left. It's not the king's fault. If anything, it's my fault that this has all happened. I can't only... I owe the king more than I can give. I'm sorry, unless there's really hard evidence against him trying to kill my people, I can't raise a sword against him.
I'm not asking for a sword. That would be a fatally bad idea on our part. But if you can just allow me the resources as much as you can without arousing any types of suspicion, and just if I can have any resources, I feel like I can get to the bottom of this, whether it involves the king or not. Something in this kingdom is wrong.
What exactly are you looking to receive?
I'm not sure, but it's just...
Well, I will assist you personally in any way I can. I'm afraid most of my power is by mouth alone. I have similar authority to our High Lord, but my place is with our people, leading our people, building up our people up again.
Like you said, you have the ear of many powerful people. Now, right at this moment, the only thing I can think of that I may create the term, but use you for, I would request that I at least be able to talk to Corvus, see how that situation is, and try in some way to help her. Any type of goal would be appreciated. Even on my side, I do know some higher ranking officers that do trust me, and I think I can use them and act with your goal to make something happen. Corvus is not, he's not the man he appears to them right now. Everything we've been through the past week, most people would go through their entire lives. The type of deception, it's indescribable.
I'll certainly see what I can do. Just I will try my hardest to get you an audience with the Corvus. But I feel when it comes down to it, it's either him or Meredith, Orion and his nobles looking for someone to blame. And it's coming down to either one of those two. I will do what I can.
Just what we can see anything happen. I mean, aside from them being my acting squad leader after I was incapacitated, I have an enormous amount of respect for not only his martial ability, but his ability to lead and keep us focused. And I'm not saying that I could have done the same. This is my arrogance. I'm not saying I couldn't have done the same, but he did it unflinching. And he had my respect. All I ask is some sort of help.
Well, you'll have all the help I can bestow upon you, which is, I promise that.
And also, I'm not sure what's going to happen to the president that was part of our squad, but I trust him as well. He also has my respect.
I'll certainly give my eye for both of your comrades to make sure, I'll do my best to make sure that nothing befalls them in a negative way.
That's all I can ask.
So, now that we got this business out of the way, are you well, Lucius? How are you feeling?
I had poison. Aside from being extremely fatigued, I've had these. I wouldn't go as far as they were more than nightmares, but just visions of war and going back to my own days. I'm not sure why it's just been unsettling.
I can just really relate with you. I'm sure all of our contractors can relate. You know, if there's anything we should talk about, and over here is she kind of like gets up her desk, walks over to you, and kind of like places her little hands on your like armor, and kind of like feeling your face and stuff. She kind of like looking into you like kind of like a romantic kind of, but kind of like concerned, ugly sort of way. Even like brushing your hair out of your eyes and stuff. What are you thinking of exactly, Lucius? What's on your mind?
I just keep having flashes of those moments that in our bloody battle going up against our own kind, killing brothers and sisters that not just, not long forward, we would sit around and, we were friends. It's just painful for me to think of that we were able to go to war against each other so easily.
Things interrupt. Words were said that shouldn't have. It just seemed like a blink of the eye and it was all started and all over before anything could have been done.
I just want to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. But truly, I want us all to become united as impossible at any time.
Well, as long as we hold on to each other, we have years and years of life ahead of us. That's why we have to remain strong together and stable. For if we fall, there is no hope for our people. You look tired, Lucius. You should rest, get some food, perhaps.
Definitely the food that I don't want to rest, but I know that I'm go to the course and go.
I understand. I got to work right away and getting an audience with them. She nods. Turns to her desk, Beth on her shoulder, and kind of like picks at your hair and says, "Ready now, Lester?"
That's right, well,
Yay!
much better than raw meat that you did.
I don't know, Master. I like meat.
Have you ever had cooked meat?
What's up?
It's meat that has been thrown into a fire and it brings out the deliciousness. Yeah, you know what? I'll show you.
Sounds like it's gonna burn.
It's not on fire when you eat it. It's just, it's a little warm, but you'll see.
You guys are getting a little anxious to leave, and gotta bring in the Dolan. This is Dolan. The Dolan. The Dolan. The final interrogation. That's why I stopped there. It's kind of.
I'm guessing you want to about jails.
Oh, Lucius. No.
It's a ride, but I'm going to go.
Here. I think so. It's really cool. That's the guy. Sure, something on that table over there. Throw table.
Alright. Mr. Dolan. As you wait at the table for Lucius to be done with interrogation, it's not but a few minutes that you see a very short but very furious-looking elf dressed in elaborate armor and another elf attendant with swords and the like, marching heatedly towards the interrogation room before she just throws it open, and you hear sandwich up behind her, and then you hear shouts and stuff coming from the room until she exits with Lucius and the other elf and stamps away with them. And we took a visitor, Meredith, the female visitor steps out looking quite, surprised, kind of shakes it off and looks to you and says, well, your turn. Right. She looks at you in the first, closes the door behind her. It's a very bare room. There's a table, 2 chairs, a chair for you, and a chair for the other human inquisitor. He's a male. He's thin, with long dark hair, separated in the middle. But what's so much peculiar about him is what he's wearing. It's chains. He's got a large metal collar around his neck, chains coming down the collar, binds his wrists at the table, and binds his ankles. And he looks at you with kind of dead eyes, like he's not really thinking anything. He says, well, do you have an idea for a last name for your guy? Dylan, that's cool. We can try to think of one real quick. Fish. How do you spell it? Okay. I see. Alright, so as you enter, the man looks at you and says, Dylan Lilovich. And you answer, I am Inquisitor Arnold Pike. This is Visitor Meredith Cow. Would you please have a seat? He said his chain lit up hands, indicating a chair before him. Okay. He says, I'll be asking you questions. If you feel comfortable with me asking you questions as well, you can do it one by one, or I'll ask serious questions, you can ask serious questions, or we don't ask serious questions at all. My first question, what is it that brought you into the special police squad?
I was caught doing something I should not have, and as a boy, in immediate sense, I opted to join this club.
Nods, says, do you know either Lucius or Corvus, either Lucius Deatos or Corvus Banner before joining their squad? What would you say about their character? They seem like honest, honorable men.
Yes, it was honest. It was an honorable man.
And what of Meryl? How did you see her?
I feel weird, but I will to
Fiery or brash?
yeah, but
Okay. He says, I see. Now, were you privy to any of their conversations?
any conversation,
Yeah, like they were like hold conversations with them, basically.
yeah,
Did they ever, either of the three, did they
What was it that decommissioned Meryl when knocked her out of service and put Corvus as the head during the mission?
She was badly wounded by Mama Mia and her possessed father.
Do you have any indication on what could have possessed these people?
Some sort of magic that was going on in his hand.
I see. There's not many questions I have for you, to be honest, young gun. You are, by all accounts, the least guilty of the group. I understand you were just following orders. So, unless there's anything you wish to ask me or wish to add, I'm free to leave.
What was so important about the mission that became this? Basically, they don't like to come up with stuff.
I do not have all the details, but from what I have heard, the king was under a lot of pressure by High Lord Orion and many of the human nobles to have justice done to the ones who betrayed the king. They wanted to make an example of those who do not follow the orders of the king. The king took this as he needed to bring you to him themselves. He did not wish for specifically Meryl to fall prey and be free of judgment before the nobles. He attempted to lie, and then he admitted his guilt of killing the war chief Peajin, going strictly against the orders of the king, who wished for him to have surrendered peacefully. He admitted his guilt, so we have him detained for now. He will await further questioning, and then be given a sentence. Well, that is all. Have a nice day. Yes, that's the room. It's a very bare room. There's really just a table and a table leading off by an area, but beside that, it's pretty plain Jane. You're a set person in this thing, though. You notice that while you're talking with this visitor guy, he gives you a very intense, albeit dead-eyed stare. He looks reading emotion on his face. He looks at you with kind of fierce intensity that, normal people wouldn't look at you. Like, he stares into your eyes with no, bashfulness about it while you guys are talking. I feel like he was, piercing your very soul. Very good point. Yeah. Ooh.
I guess, I'm free to go.
There you go. Alright, you walk out. Do you wish to walk out of the garden halls back out into the streets?
Where was Luis?
You have no idea. You're just being sorted out by the elves.
Can I ask what happened to Luis?
Oh, you want to ask him? He says the head of the White Tower, Sylvanas, took it upon herself to question Lucius. I would imagine she took him into her office with him gone there to the top of the tower. If you wish to find him, I lead you to keep there.
Okay.
Alright, well, as soon as you step outside, you see a couple of familiar faces. One's human, one's a dog. You see none other than Gooby, a very ridiculous smile on his face, as he greets you with wide open arms. There's my favorite little five-fingered devil. Come here, you son of a bitch.
I kind of push him back. And, okay. I care. Did he say, he sent me after somebody else, like a car or something?
He sent you after a target, and the target happened to be one of the High Lords, friendly at dwarf, like one of the generals, and Gummy caught you in the act. I thought you were dead! Where were you at, buddy?
And so the suicide squad, because you sent me after the, what was his name?
Oh, Gummy.
Yeah. After,
Oh, come on, man, you can't still be against me about that. I thought you should have handled the guy. I told you not to be slow, but yeah, you still got that game, you said, it's cool, it's cool. You know, you still interested in doing some jobs? Since you've been gone, man, it's been shit, man. No one's good at you. I can't get nobody to do nothing right. Can't get my left or right, you know? You know, you get those wheels greased, you know what I mean?
alright, how long was my sentence?
I think it's 2 years.
2 years. Well, I mean, after your big fuck up, I'm not too excited to get back to that. Plus, I'm caught again. I have no chance of getting my career.
My fuck up? What? That's cool, that's cool. Look, you know, if you're looking for, you know, a little extra cash, you know where to find me. You know, we had some good times back in the day. I like keeping that going, you know what I mean? I'll catch you later there, old. See you around, whatnot. Like, passes his dog, Pluto, on the side, and the two of them walk off. Alright.
You see, you said I know what I'm.
Yeah, you know, it's like basically you guys have like a meeting spot. You guys usually meet at the bar in the under part, like where the doors are, a dwarf bar. That's where you guys normally used to meet back in the day. It's fun to meet, man.
Between missions, where are technically free, so they call.
Yeah, basically like between missions, like normally you don't get paid for doing this suicide squad mission, but since it's one of those kind of off the record, you know, since you become paid, you guys. So basically, you just, you have, they have like dorms within the barracks. It's all like a big room filled with bunk beds and stuff. You guys can see they have a like mess hall where you can eat. So you have your food, you have your lodging, if you want to do anything else, you have like either get a job or take a pocket or find some other means to make money if you want something done.
But we're not under contact. Lost free to do it.
Yeah. Yes, you is. Alright, well, I guess it's a good time to probably pause this session here. One last thing before we stop. So, you are seeing the barracks. You actually are sharing a cell with Corvus, but he seems to be kind of keeping it to himself. But not too long after, you hear the sounds of the footsteps, like a long procession of footsteps coming down like the hallways to the cells, and you see a familiar sight of like a company of dwarves in armor, and in their ranks you see a woman. She looks similar to the young lady you were introduced to earlier that day, but she looks older. And the guards stop, and she's also being led to there by a guard in the barracks itself. And he takes the key from his hearing and opens your cell and opens the door. And the guard says, "Alright, you're being released. Get on out of here."
Me?
Yes, you.
What about this, human?
He thinks he's stuck here for a little while longer. You're greeted by, just from word of mouth by the doors by Mother Bertram, the head of the Dwarven family. and she smiles at you, but you can see her eyes don't match up with that smile. They're kind of looking down on you as she smiles. And she says, so you're the dwarf that's causing all the trouble.
What trouble am I actually causing?
A lot of it. But trouble's not always a bad thing. We have much to discuss.
Okay.
And that's where we'll end it. Well, I guess we should at least, we do have a bunch of you guys will still fresh in our heads, so we'll do that last. So yeah, Arthur, do Lucius first.
Nothing.
Being just
Well, that would be fair to you to say. You got something.
okay. As near as possible with the test hand, do the right thing, instead of really torture as often as possible. Alright. What do you suggest you got for me?
For I will whatever power will be task at hand. I feel like I'm I don't know, it's kind of maybe a little bit vague the way I'm thinking. I plan, even before we got to the city, always to get his alliance involved. And so let her know what was going on with us.
Right.
And try to listen.
Yeah.
And what we got to feel is right.
Well, you were doing that when you were trying to talk Savant into helping out Corvus. And in case you were asking for help with Dolan and Corvus, you were like trying to convince her, like, hey, can I be out here? Just in case they're bored me. Say that again? Yeah, I think you put it that. Yes, actually. Using it to like stuff.
If you want to your instincts, you have to go into your instincts or by following them.
Let me re-look into that. Instincts are the rage. The earth wheel. 61. Here we go. Okay, fate points are earned by applying instincts when such play gets the character in trouble or creates a difficult or awkward situation. So this would be again the instinct has to put you in a difficult situation. What was it? Text one of my friends, what was planned, or something else. Yeah, yeah. That's got to change beliefs and things.
The change, I always have a plan to manage trouble of the king and his people.
That includes the laws. What's your changing the other change? Oh, okay, sorry.
Is this in high school?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to I found it.
Yeah, that's definitely in high school. I remember it.
So we can go.
I'll change, I type up my terms to, I will do anything
Can you believe you want to change?
Yeah, I can change that older one, but I'm sure what you need to do.
Okay. We'll move on then to Dolan. Mr. Dolan.
I think Olin should be Oscar or
Again, I don't see. I think your beliefs really played into this session. Gaining wealth, gaining martial prowess, or see mighty fall. Is there any ways you want to change it at all, Mr. Dolan? To fit the situation or fit any goals you have, anything you want to like accomplish? Oh yeah, sure. There's no one that you want to like. Is there anything you want to like put more specifically? Anything like any virtue you want to conquer or any you want to get revenge on Ruby? Yeah. It depends on which priorities lie. Okay. Honestly, can't really think of anything. Give me Mr. Dolan. Alright, so nothing critical in this session. Oh no.
Okay. Only 1, 2, and 3. What would you say?
Some people have special belief doors specifically have an extra belief that be an oath they have, although the oaths didn't make it to a specific person. That's their core belief. Like why this was finding an appropriate weapon for his brother. Something like that. Well, just so you'll know, for player knowledge, that dwarf that Nathan found within the farm was Wyatt's brother character.
Oh, that actually didn't mind why.
Oh, that's his brother. Wyatt's character still lost in the woods. Naked. I've been in Broggen. See what stuff you did. More manages created. More power to become. Your word would tell, don't want to use what approaches you. Gaining our approach following through fear or manageable powers.
So you only mad like could have possibly considered a threat?
Was I being lied to the Inquisitor? Trying to tell the court was actually the one who killed all those people.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. You get it. I give you a point to that.
Nah, you didn't actually threat of that.
Well, I mean, actually, no, you get a point to the instinct. You put yourself in an awkward and difficult position by lying to him. So that's, I think that's, yes, you put yourself in a difficult, awkward situation. You put yourself in the bear, so yeah, that's a big point of that. Other than that, though, I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
I am slightly intolerant to all races, especially yours.
What's that going to relate to? Study all races. Alright, then, Brian, is there any, or is your base, is there any anything you wish to change based on the situation at hand?
Wait, what?
Is there any belief or instinct you wish to change based on the situation? Nope. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of